Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I made it happen. That's because I went to Oklahoma. There you go. That'd be why. Right. Oh.
Hello. Yep. Yeah, it was. You're right. It was the same voice, but they didn't have any, there was no Yoshiaki Koizumi. You know. Yeah. Pretty much.
Oh, Andres,
No,
you were saying
sound.
your mic's not working. For them, they can't hear you for some reason. I think
no.
you probably have it muted.
The intro's ruined.
Oh, no!
It's ruined. Damn it.
You could always go offline
That's fine.
and then come back on.
Just pretend this never happened.
Pretend it never happened.
Just start a whole new thing.
Should we?
No, it's fine.
It's 2 minutes in.
It's fine. We're good.
Welcome, everyone. This is On Just Restart. I'm joined by 3 good friends. Brandon from What About Nintendo, Kazoo from the Yellow Kazoo, and I even talked about Shifty yet, but Shifty from I Am Shifty is here as well. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. It feels like a second podcast in the same night.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything's going cool. Everything's cool. I've been just playing Joker nonstop for the most part, so.
Okay, and we're gonna be talking about that.
We should.
And for the record, we had a whole conversation the first 2 minutes talking about how I feel like the information we got last week was basically a Smash Direct, even though it wasn't called a Smash Direct. But whatever, we'll get into that. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna get started. We got some things to talk about. I'll just go over the topics real quick. One, we're gonna be talking about the Smash Direct that happened last week, right? The video that dropped. It was like 16 minutes long or something like that, right? And it went over Joker and the Persona 5 content for the Challenger Pack 1, and then it also went over the 3.0 update, which includes and features the stage builder, which is more fleshed out than I kind of expected it to be. But what makes it even deeper is it added a kind of like a whole Mario Maker-esque sort of feature where you can kind of look and share that content with everyone else. Like, that's interesting, right? So they added a lot there. We're going to get into that, right? We're going to be talking to the whole Smash update and then the implications into the DLC characters, because we're always going to talk about that, right? And then we're going to be talking about how seemingly, and I'm pretty confident about this, Retro Studios is teasing a game and they use the retirement of Reggie's career to do so. So we're getting to that. For those who don't know, Retro Studios, they're responsible for the Metroid Prime series. They developed that. They brought back Metroid. They also brought back Donkey Kong Country, right? Hence the background music from Donkey Kong Country. And they're teasing something else. And it's not Metroid Prime 4. It's something that I think is done, but we'll get into that as well. Then we're going over some official specs for the PlayStation 5. Yes, it is official. It's not just rumor territory anymore. Sony has come out and actually given us some specs, right? So I don't know anything about that, but Brandon, hopefully you do. So we'll talk about that and how that could impact the Switch, because this is a Nintendo channel. And then we will be talking about a maybe Switch Pro delay. There was a report that came from Nikkei talking about some new information involving the Switch Mini Lite and also the next generation or more powerful Switch. So there was some issues with the translation there, but we're going to be getting to that as well. So we have a fair bit to talk about. How you guys doing? Before we just jump into this whole mess, how are things?
I'm good. Been playing some Sploon recently. I did really well. I thought on the Splatfest. My team didn't win, sadly, but yeah, but I felt like I played pretty well. So I don't know.
The thing about Splatoon for me is that, like, well, I haven't played in a bit, so bear with me. But, like, whenever I do play, and I think I'm doing good, it doesn't matter. My team still loses. It's like, it's not good enough. And then there are other times my team's winning, and I feel like I'm trash. And I'm like, Jesus, if we lose, it's because of me.
Same. No, I feel that. I feel like it's a lot of, like, you might just not be doing well, like, with your team. When you're doing good and your team isn't.
Right.
I feel like that's kind of the case on that one. I don't know.
Yeah.
See, that's precisely why you don't want me on your team. I'm not gonna be any help of you.
And yeah, whenever I play team games, I just go off by myself and do really good and like screw everyone else.
Man.
I don't work very well together. Very well.
Nice.
I remember, so when Splatoon 2 came out, like, I was pretty good at the first Splatfest. Like, I was doing pretty good. Like, I felt like I was causing my teams to win. I got the highest, the highest tier. I didn't play that much. I barely lost any matches. And I had a pretty, I had a high kill count for me. Like, it was always almost, at least 5, but usually above 10. Like, it was pretty good. And then I never played on a Splatfest after that. I just fell off the whole Splatoon 2 train. I had played Salmon Run a lot, but when it came to actual, like, the traditional online play, I didn't do much of it after that. So I'm a sinner, and I'm sorry about that.
Really?
Yeah.
I love Sploon. Sploon is life.
How many hours do you have on it?
I don't know, maybe like 200. I don't know.
No, that's a pretty good number. Yeah.
That's not like insane though.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm at like 150 or something.
But like that's okay.
Yeah, I think I don't even think I hit it like 100 yet.
Oof.
Yeah.
I had over 700 in the original.
Damn.
I got like 80 hours
really?
in Splatoon 2. I don't know how many I have in Splatoon 1. I have to go back and check. I feel like I probably put more time into Splatoon 1. Just
Splatoon 1, there was like nothing good. It was the Wii U. It was like the only game that came out that was any good. So I just played it over and over again the whole year.
I forget I have Splatoon 2. It's a good game. I 100% the single player campaign. I 100% the Salmon Run. And I mean, I definitely put at least 10-20 hours into the online play.
I still haven't beaten the campaign. I haven't beaten either of the campaigns, the normal one or the DLC one. I've beaten either.
I haven't either. It's hard.
I think the DLC one is probably like the best of the 3 campaigns we've gotten.
Yeah,
I agree. I agree. It's something different than the original.
Yeah, and it also feels like you're in an actual location rather than like the floating platform like levels that they have going on most of the time.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, I think that was really interesting how they did that with the whole like subway thing. It's pretty cool.
I really appreciated that. You guys are gonna hate me for saying this, but I play way more Fortnite than I do Splatoon.
I have 4 hours in Fortnite too.
I'm not even gonna say anything about that because I'm pretty sure I have more hours on Fortnite on my Switch than I do Splatoon.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say that you unfriended me.
I mean, I can do that too, but
I don't play Fortnite on the Switch. I've never played it on
I play it on my PS4.
Yeah, I played on the PC. I probably have like 300 hours on the PC at least.
Yeah.
Most of that was all Season 5.
Down with Fortnite!
Season 5, I had like 200 hours in that. It was insane.
I played around with Fortnite right before we started this. which is probably why my mic was off. It's actually the reason my mic was off because I was recording gameplay and I didn't want my mic in there and I forgot to turn it off. Whatever. But
I've done that before.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks so much. I almost won. I got second place. That was pretty good. It was pretty good. Yeah. So I usually play with my cousins. We play a lot. We've been like, I've gotten like 3 or 4 battle royales this week, and for the record, I don't play like hours a day, right? Like I probably played like maybe 6-7 hours in the span of a week. Okay, just for perspective. So it's not like that much. But anyway, let's see how you guys are doing in the chat, and then let's jump into the swing of things here. So, Severio, hello. Thank you for letting us know that my mic wasn't working. Thank you, Isaiah, for also saying that. Thank you, Blizmo81, for also saying that. You guys made it clear. No, yeah.
Oh, Blizmo's here. What's up, Blizmo?
Super Chris, what's up, bro? Moyo. Buenas aires. I probably said that wrong. I'm sorry. Jugs McGee, hello, man. So, let's actually, I like what Super Chris said. He said, if you like Fortnite, I have no problem with that. That I think that is the appropriate way to go about things. You let people like what they like, and that should be fine.
I absolutely have a problem with it. Fortnite is a fundamental problem of society.
It just ruins everything. Our quality of life is literally worse because Fortnite exists.
Yep.
Yes, exactly.
It's proven fact. Fortnite causes autism. There you go. According to new studies. There you go.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
So I'm seeing that Severio, he's saying he has, I'll just read it. I have 65 on Splatoon 2. I'm very disappointed in myself. Definitely play Splatoon 1 more. It goes back to what Brandon was saying, though. We just had no games, right? I don't think Splatoon 2 is worse. It's just Splatoon 1. That was what you had to play. That was it. That was the game.
But I played Splatoon 1 more.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, that definitely contributes to that.
Yeah. Jugs McGee saying he's more of an Apex player than a Fortnite player. I got an Apex
more.
I don't. I don't know. Maybe it's just the people I play with. That's the thing for me. When I play multiplayer games, it's just because I want to hang out with the people I'm playing with. It's not necessarily because I want to play the multiplayer game. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
It kind of that makes perfect sense. Most of my playtime is actually on an Xbox because 90% of my friends are on there, and I actually have no care for the Xbox.
Right.
Yeah.
You just do it because you want to hang out with them. That's what it is, right? So yeah. I mean, I think we've come to a fundamental truth here. It's about friends and happiness. Okay, I'm done. All right. So let's.
The more you know.
Let's talk about that Smash update. So, who was surprised by the way they presented this information?
I was a little surprised, to be honest. Like, I don't know.
I wasn't ready.
They just kind of dropped it out of nowhere.
I wasn't ready.
I was not prepared. I was like, Nintendo, come on. I need time to set up my reaction OBS setup. Like, I can't have this when I'm going somewhere. Because I was like, it was on a Tuesday night, and I was like, I'm going somewhere right now, Nintendo, come on. You gotta give me some advanced notice of this.
Yeah, they didn't give that to me. I recorded a reaction, but I recorded the reaction like at 4 in the morning. I saw it and I was like, yeah, this guy's really tired. Does anyone really want to just watch this dude passing out for 16 minutes? So I didn't upload it, you know? But I thought it was great. I thought it was great content. I love that Mementos is a stage that changes its color based on the music, right?
Yeah, that's really cool.
That is awesome to me. Joker, I play with him a little bit. I like him. I don't love him. I like him, right? Like, he's probably... You hate him?
I hate his recovery.
Oh.
It sucks.
Yeah, it's a little... It's a little...
It's very iffy.
It's different depending on what stage you're in.
Yeah, it really is.
But I mean, I don't. Okay, I don't dislike him. I want to make that clear. I like him. like for me, I would say he's an above average character in terms of likability, right?
It's pretty fun.
But for me, I'm more excited about the Memento stage. I'm more excited about the Persona music. I'm really into that. And then the stage builder, like I'm just getting laughs at like just going into the social feature and just looking at everyone else's stages, like because people are coming up with some ridiculous stuff, some really cool, interesting stuff, and also some really hilarious, perverted trash that's just kind of like, really, they did that? Oh my god, I can't believe that happened.
Mine has been.
Yeah.
I was streaming it just before this, and people were just like, put custom stages on. So I put custom stages on. Worst mistake of my life. They were all trash. They were the worst.
How many of them were pornographic in nature?
Surprisingly, none. I thought they were gonna be, but none of them were. They were just. One of them was the Twin Towers. That was pretty like, oh my god.
No, don't do that.
They were either terrible because of the content, or they're terrible because the stage just sucked. Like they had one, it was just like lava completely encompassed it, except like 2 small holes. So you just get smacked. You just like constant.
Yeah.
You would never die. I got to 999% damage, and I literally had to kill myself because I was just gonna stay there for eternity.
Wow. Yeah.
They were the worst fucking stages I've ever.
It's like the worst like purgatory.
Yeah, dude.
Stage. Yeah, I don't like those ones that people make that are just like a square of lava. Like there are some really good ones, but like the when they made the Sonic one that goes like this.
Yeah, that was really cool. Oh man, I love that. And
that one was pretty cool.
I saw this one. There's 2. I downloaded this one that basically is like a recreation of the Metal Mario N64 stage. It's pretty close. It's pretty close. It's using the same music. The structure's the same. It reminds me of it entirely. Like it's pretty darn close to the real thing. I was impressed with it, and like I'm interested to see what people are gonna be coming up with. Like I love it. I love that you can like actually draw on the tablet. I love that, that it really does feel Mario Maker-esque. I want to say esque.
That's
right?
what. Like, yeah, exactly. It's like Mario. I said this in my in my reaction to it. It's like Mario Maker, but for Smash, and I think it's really cool.
It's just insane that with the Smash community, you're just seeing some really raunchy stuff.
Yeah.
That is true. Yeah.
Oh, it's to me it doesn't bother me. I think it's hilarious. I love it. But it's just kind of insane because it's very clear that a lot of the content there is not rated E for everyone, right?
Yeah.
Like if they launched the game with Stage Builder, the ESRB would be higher than what it is. That's all I'm saying. Yeah.
I think the ESRB usually counts online stuff differently. Like they'll say
they do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. They. Yeah. 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 Because the game company can't really like do anything about like what other people do.
You can't really control. Well, I mean, you can start banning people.
Well,
they call moderators.
At the same time, though, you can because. Like Mario Maker, like people don't build inappropriate stages in Mario Maker. Like
it's not as bad.
Yeah, why is that? Do they just all get banned in Mario Maker?
No, I want to just say it's just a difference of community.
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong.
I mean, yeah, they could moderate it, but they probably can't stop it. That's the thing.
Yeah. And I think most people that see that content aren't like, oh my god, this is horrendous. I think most people appreciate it to some level. Like, not like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think most people, when they see that, like, for example, Mii Fighter, but her boobs are basically the entire stage, like, most people aren't going to report that. They're just be like, wow, bravo. You know,
like, wow, that's something else.
Yeah, it's hilarious. So I actually appreciate the wide variety of taste and creativity the Smash community has, and I think this is in its own way like an almost like an endless. It's going to be an endless stream of content just through the stage builder community. Like that's going to become its own thing. Like this is huge.
That's true.
I think.
Yeah.
It's going to be crazy. I mean, I bet there's going to be YouTube channels that are just going to be about the stage builder in Smash.
Oh, probably.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest with you guys. Like, I'm not that big on creating stages myself. Like for me, I find the best stages are the ones that are meant to be like played on and not be taken seriously in any way. So like my favorites are like the Tetris stage I saw, and like the wheel that I forgot who made it, but that wheel that just has like platforms that spin the entire time and you have to stay on as best you can.
Yeah.
Those are my favorite created stages, but that's only like 3 or 4 that I've seen.
What about the one of those really popular ones? Blizmo just mentioned it in the chat. Just says fix online.
I was playing one day and it was just, you know, those like bumper items that around. It was just those. They would fall from the sky, just constantly, just bounce everywhere, and then they would fall off the stage, just respawn. They would just continually be coming down. It was so unplayable. You couldn't do anything, but it was hilarious.
So I saw this one on RGT85's video on it, but there was a stage that is literally the N64 logo. And it's not crappy, like, because you know the N64 logo has like the 3-dimensional feel to it. Right. They got that. Like, they recreated that look and that perspective with it. I think it's extraordinary. Like, they really, you know, because the thing is, they take advantage of each different colored, like, you know, terrain you can use. Right. And they, you know, you have to really pay attention to, like, the darkness, even though if, like, you look at it, it's like, hey, that's not going to match the color, but because of lighting and shading, it does match it, right? Also with the Sonic one with the moving hand, same deal. Like, it's really interesting how they were able to accomplish this, because you use the darker colors to create the darker shades. I just think some people have done some really amazing jobs already, and I wish that my fingers could do that, draw accurately on the... I can't do it. Right. I don't know how people draw. Maybe they don't draw. I haven't played in console mode with the stage builder. Is it better that way?
Yeah. No.
You can't just use the analog stick to go pixel by pixel.
One thing about it, it's not very intuitive.
Yeah, I'm still figuring out a little bit. I think I pretty much understand everything, but it took me a little bit to really get my grasp on it, I think.
Yeah, I haven't even bothered like trying to learn it. I just kind of like, I went into it my first time. I made one really horrible stage, and I was like, I don't want to take the time to learn this. I'll just let other people do it, and I'll just download it.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it too, honestly.
Yeah. I like how you can. I feel like this is the one thing that's actually relevant now about the online app. On you know, the phone one is you can actually go through custom stages and then have them import it to your Switch and they download.
Yeah, that is really good.
That's very good.
That's a good point. Yeah, but I do think though that in because in Sploon you can like check your stats and stuff.
Yeah, so the Sploon one's useful too.
So it's not totally irrelevant, but you know, the whole voice chat thing, it's like, come on.
Still sucks.
You touch on an interesting point, guys, because I agree with you, Kazoo, on how Splatoon has a deeper sort of there's more to look at when you go on the app, and I like that in Smash they're including it now with the stage builders. You can see different stages and download them, as you mentioned, Brandon. But it kind of makes me think, man, what if they were to do more with the actual smartphone app and Smash Bros.
Yeah.
What if eventually they do add another mode? And I am under the impression they're going to be adding modes like every few months, right? Like maybe it won't be like every 4.0, 5.0 they'll add a whole new mode like Stage Builder, but I do believe that we may end up seeing like 2 or 3 more modes, you know, throughout the course of the updates for Smash Brothers. And what if one of them just completely overhauls the online, where they add another online mode? It kind of adds more of like a campaign element to the online, where it's not just battling to get to, you know, just battling people until you get Elite Smash. Like, what if they offer more of a, I don't know, like, does anyone kind of like resonate with me here, where there could be more of a direction that you can go with while playing online? like some sort of campaign or
Yeah,
mission-based sort of thing you could do. Maybe more of a, I don't know, tournament-like campaign structure online that you could follow your stats, sort of pay attention. Maybe they could create seasons, right? Like actual seasons where you're competing against other people. You enter with a whole bunch of other Smash players in a season, and then you compete and you have a playoffs, right? And then that can kind of have its own ranking, and you can see how you compare worldwide in like these different seasons. Like that might be one way to do it.
That would be interesting.
And you could follow those stats on your smartphone app, right? As if it were just like a sport you were following. You follow the stats for the season, for the Smash season on your phone. And that could be one really cool mode they could add that wouldn't really require that much additional assets. It would just be, you know, figuring out the menus for it, because it's still just battling, just organized a little differently with, you know, I guess the benefit of doing well in a season, right? So I would really like that. It would, I think it would offer a little. It would give me a bit more drive to actually play online more. I do play online occasionally, and I enjoy it, but I think most people would agree with me that the online is pretty bare bones, and that maybe one of the few ways they could sort of bolster it.
Right. Yeah, I actually have like a good amount to say about that too, because all like
floor is yours, buddy.
They need something else to do online, because like I've hit Elite Smash for several different characters and it's just not entertaining anymore. Like it's because if the only goal right now, it feels like the only goal or the only thing to really do is to try to hit Elite Smash, and if not that, just play with friends in lobbies. So I feel like they need to bring back two things that was already in Smash 4 on Wii U, and then maybe try doing some new things. Because on Smash 4 Wii U, they had conquests. I don't know if you guys remember that. That was
much there.
Vaguely.
It was kind of like, you could kind of argue it was kind of like Splatfest, where it would have a theme. It would be like, swordsmen versus magic users, and it would say like, if you're on this side, play as a character on who uses swords, and versus playing a character who uses magic, and then it would have like a result at the end of it, and people who got on one side will get something for it.
I had no idea that even existed.
So like they could bring that back, right? They can also bring back online tournaments.
That would actually be really cool, like a Splatfest type mode for Smash. That would actually be pretty neat.
Yeah, like they could bring both of those modes back. And hell, if they have online tournaments that are kind of just like, globally, you know how like they had their recent like what was it, like the online tournament thing that they had? Yeah. They can do that, but also make it so you can spectate it from your Switch.
Which would be fantastic. I would love that. That'd be great.
Wow.
So I have an idea, and this wouldn't happen with just one update. This would probably have to be like one of the final Smash Ultimate updates, because they would need more content to pull this off. But I like the idea of, let's say they do add home run contests, which I feel like we all agree they're probably going to add, because it was in the data mine along with Stage Builder. I think it's just kind of a matter of time with home run contests.
Yeah.
But maybe we get that with a 4.0 update, and then maybe we get another mode with 5.0 update. Let's just say it's, I don't know, break the targets, and then eventually get like a Smash run, right? And maybe we get like an all-star mode or something like that. So, let's say about a year or so from now, we have, maybe 4 or 5 new modes, right? And some of them are actually like different playing experiences. Like one of them is a Stage Builder, one of them is home run contest, one of them is target smash, one of them is Smash Run, and maybe one of them is just like, race to the finish. Like things like that are a little bit different than just fighting in Smash Brothers, right? But you still have this fighting. So what if they add one final mode once all that's added, where it's an online mode, but it's kind of like a Mario Party-esque sort of Smash minigame tournament style kind of thing, where you get into it, you have a group of players, you play together, but it's like a Smash Olympics, where like, okay, you guys now have to see who can survive the longest, in sudden death for a minute, or now who can launch this sandbag the furthest with your home run bat, or who can race to the finish the quickest, like things like that. So it's a compilation of different like Smash interactions within like sort of like a competition like structure, kind of like a Mario Party minigame mode, but for Smash.
Right.
Like,
that would be so interesting. That'd be really cool, actually.
Yeah, I'd like that too. I was like one of the few people who actually liked Smash Tour.
I like the idea of it, but I think it was too slow paced.
Yeah, that's what it is. They need to like fix a couple of things
and
about
maybe it'd be more than just fights. Like, what if it's my idea? You just put in home run like the most of the modes are already in the game, right? You just kind of put it in there as well. Like, have these different things that you can do, mix it up, and I think a lot of people would appreciate that. So
I think it would also be good if you made all those modes available as like an online thing too.
yeah,
Like make it so that we can play home run contest online with a friend. Make it so I could play Smashdown online with a friend.
yeah, that'd be
You just have to set
great.
it up.
That'd be amazing. And I mean, if we think about it, look at what they did with Stage Builder, right? Like, this update was basically about Stage Builder. Like, they updated some other modes, but I feel like those other modes are complementary to Stage Builder, right? So, I imagine that maybe we get home run contest in the 4.0 update, right? But this home run contest is the most fleshed out home run contest yet. Like, it's actually, you know, you can play online with your friends. They have co-op, right? There's more of a rankings. Maybe there's a variety to how you can go about doing home run contest. Basically, the most fleshed out home run contest we've ever had. And maybe every update they will dedicate themselves to just one mode and really execute it, right? Like, for example, Smash Tour was not executed well, right? So maybe this time, with all these different updates, they're taking their time to just execute each mode really, really well, so we have something kind of special. And I think Stage Builder, for what Stage Builder could be, I think they pretty much, they did it. Like, I don't really have any serious criticisms about it, because they exceeded my expectations by a lot.
Yeah, I didn't really know what they would do, but yeah, I thought it was. It seems like it's pretty good. They have, I don't know. It's actually kind of weird because they have like all these different materials that you can build stages out of, like carpet and like wood and stuff. I don't know. It just seems a little bit weird because of that, but it's cool. It's still cool.
So, Shifty, I know I'm pretty sure you play more Smash than the rest of us here. And I'm pretty sure you're better than me at Smash because you've gone to Elite Smash several times and I haven't. So that's I'm willing to just make that concession without even fighting you. But although I would like to fight you, you know, but just moving forward, how do you feel about Joker? How do you feel about how he plays? Like, what's your perspective on him and how he compares to the other characters?
Well, the first time I played him, I streamed just like myself in the training mode, just trying to figure out combos and figure out how he works and all that. And I also did another stream where all I did was play nothing but Joker and play online. So from what I've gathered playing him, he's a really good character. I don't think he's like one of the best in the game, but he's definitely on the top half, I think.
Okay. So
he's not a bad character by any means. He has really good combos. Some of his combos are just stupid. Like, you can just do whatever you want for the most part, and there's very little the other person can do if you know how to do them well. The problem is that the way he works, you need to know how to do them well.
Okay.
Because if you don't, you're not really gonna get much going on with him.
I find his neutral B to be interesting because at first glance, it seems like a basic just shoot B, and you shoot guns, you know, short to mid range, right? You shoot bullets. But it's more than that because you can like sidestep and move up and down as you do it, and then you can kind of like hit people from below you or above you as you do it. Do you know what I'm talking about? Right,
yeah. And that move, I don't ever really use it, honestly, if I'm just on stage, but the best use for it is if somebody's trying to grab the ledge. Right before they grab the ledge, if you jump and shoot downward, you can actually stop them from grabbing it and actually end up killing them.
That's great.
Which is really disgusting. It's not even fair for some characters.
Can you explain to me how the persona works? Like, does it actually make him stronger, or does it just change his special moves?
It's pretty much everything's better. His special moves will change and act a little differently, but at the same time, all his attacks are just stronger. Smash, like pretty much every single move that he has can kill.
Okay, so all of his hits do actually get stronger.
Yeah.
Okay, so a forward A hard, forward smash will have more knockback and do more damage.
Right. Same goes for every aerial and all those things.
Okay. I didn't know that. All right, I was just under the impression that just some of the specials were different. So, all right, cool. Okay. So I get the up B. His up B is just it flies you further up, you know, when you have your persona out. The side B, it's just a more effective side B from beforehand, right? There's nothing new about it, just bigger and stronger.
It can also kill if you manage to get someone high up with it.
Okay, that's a good point.
Yeah, it has knockback to it.
The down B is ridiculous. I feel like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, his counter in Persona mode is like it just destroys everybody.
I was playing with Piranha Plant and I threw the cannonball, you know, the spiky ball at Joker, and he downbeat me with his Persona out, and that was all she wrote. That I died. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because the spike ball is already a heavy hitting hard move, right? You reflect that and you're done.
Yeah, and his recovery when he does not have the Persona, the grappling hook, that is a very interesting combo tool.
I noticed that when someone was kicking my ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's much better just like combos than it actually is to recover.
Yeah.
It kind of sucks for recovering.
Absolutely. I kind of agree. But I think he's a really cool character. I like him. I'm pretty happy with it. It makes me want to give Persona more of a try. Like I said, I really like the stage. I really like the music. I think there's a lot of attention to detail here, and it kind of makes me excited for the next Challenger packs. I'm really excited for them. Some people have, of course, right? People have been looking at this and trying to see if we can glean any sort of clues about future characters from the new content. And there are some things that have come up. But is there anything that comes to mind for you guys that sort of like maybe shaped or changed your perspective on what we should expect for not just the DLC characters, but just like future content for Smash Bros. In general?
Well, let's see here. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of, like, you think about the people almost like the other Persona characters, they almost act as like stage hazards. So I thought that was kind of interesting that they were like the characters from the game.
Yeah.
But they are like, you know, they're like hazards essentially. So I just thought that was really interesting. Maybe for the future character packs they'll have more of that, like in Banjo-Kazooie. If Banjo-Kazooie is a character pack,
You can see Gruntilda flying in the background.
yeah, or
The
like
mole.
or like it becomes the stage hazard or something.
Oh, that'd
I
be
don't
interesting.
know.
Did you guys? So some people have been the stage builder had a couple in the Smash video. There was a couple custom stage scenes that some people think might be a hint or something. I don't want to put too much stock into that, but I think it's at least worth noting, right? Like I don't think it's like, oh my god, this is happening, but it's just kind of like, okay, this is kind of cool. Like the one that really comes to mind, I made it the thumbnail. There's the Gruntilda. I mean, there's the scene with the witch, right? Like it's a green witch with a cauldron. And I mean, people think it looks like Gruntilda. It does look like Gruntilda, but Gruntilda looks like your typical cliche evil witch as well. Like she's a green, like fat witch with a cauldron. So I don't think it's necessarily like hard confirmation that Banjo-Kazooie is coming, but it is one of those things where it might be a tease because they have done things like that in the past, but they also haven't.
Maybe.
It's a hard maybe. It's a very hard maybe.
Hard.
Or a soft maybe. It's a maybe of sorts.
Some kind of maybe. We're not really sure.
It's a some kind of maybe. Yeah, exactly. It's a some kind of maybe. But like, I thought it was really cool. Did you guys notice that when you saw the video, or were you just like, oh, okay, it's just a witch?
I just thought it was just a witch.
Yeah, same here. I thought it was just a witch. Because Gruntilda looks like every other witch you can imagine.
Right, she's a cliche witch. I agree. But if Banjo-Kazooie is in, people are like, yep, that was a tease. Called it, you know?
Yeah.
I think...
Well, you know, a broken clock is always right twice. Well, I mean, I guess that's more with people saying, you know, Mother 3, but
if you're predicting it for years, I think someday, no, it's just never gonna happen. I think it's more likely that civilization will end before it happens. I don't know.
You could definitely say that for Metroid Prime Trilogy, because we hear about that every single time something's coming up, and eventually someone's gonna end up being right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
if there's a Nintendo Direct this week and they announce Metroid Prime Trilogy, then I'll be like, yeah, they were right. But if it like it needs to, the rumor, the initial report was that, hey, first half of 2019. So if it's not first half of 2019, I would call that a hard L. But I do think that if I'm not doubting the source, but just plans change, right? Plans change. So we'll see what happens.
Right.
We could get into that. 'Cause, like, do you guys think there's a Direct even happening this month? Like, are you guys just completely no?
I was thinking this week on Thursday. That's what I was thinking because
I think
the Persona like they're like, you know, Persona 5 P5S. They're like, check back on the 25th and on that website. And if there's a Nintendo if there's a Nintendo Switch version, you know Nintendo's going to be announcing that garbage at their Nintendo Direct.
I think if there is a Nintendo Direct this week, if there is one, I'm not saying there will be, but if there is one, Persona 5 will be announced there, hopefully along with Metroid Prime Trilogy. If there is one, I'm not saying there will be. It's saying if. But I do kind of agree that if there is one day left in the month that's gonna happen, it's this Thursday. If it doesn't happen this Thursday, I'm just like, okay, well, I'll get my Pokemon Direct at the end of May, and then E3 is just gonna be amazing, and then that's it. Like, I do not expect a normal Nintendo Direct in May. Watch like May 1st, and I was like, hey, Nintendo Direct. But there are signs.
Watch that happen.
There are some potential signs. The investors meeting is coming up this week. Right, there's several days of maintenance on the Nintendo eShop. Apparently, we do have the Mario Odyssey and Zelda VR compatibility coming on the 25th. There's the Persona event on the 25th. So there are a lot of things happening this week that might be suggestive of some sort of update from Nintendo via a Direct, maybe. But also, like, we basically had a Smash Direct last week, so I don't think we really need one.
That's true. That's a good point. Yeah, they did just have the Smash Direct last week, but also, like, just think about all the other things that they might want to, like, release dates and stuff that they would want to get out of the way before E3. Sorry if I cut you off, Andres.
I'll never forgive you. No, that's fine. Cut me off as much as you want. That's okay. That's okay. Yeah, so like I actually encourage the cutting off. Because we'll have more ideas will come. Because you have an idea, I don't want you to lose the idea. I want you to spit out the idea and we can roll with it.
Okay, that's good because I'll lose my ideas pretty quickly. So.
Yeah, just spit them out. Just spit them out. Across the screen.
I
think there's still a lot to talk about in regards to Smash update and potential Direct information. So let's take a small break with this hybrid topic and go to the chat, and then we'll come right back. I got a few ads. Let me see where we're at here. Yes, Jugs McGee. I am a madman. I was up at 4 a.m. I guess I should tell you guys now, and I don't just mean guys. I mean you guys in the podcast. I'm planning on going to the gym after the podcast, so I'm trying not to make the podcast go like until like midnight. Like the goal is to end 11ish, so I can go to the gym around 11:30. I started going to the gym last week. I mentioned this. I'm trying to do like the One Punch Man challenge, but like a variant of it where, like, if you instead of doing like 100 push-ups, like I do push-ups, but like I also do like some sort of different kind of chest workout to work out different muscle groups around the chest, then muscle groups around the back, legs, and stuff like that, and also running more and more every day. So trying to get into shape, but whatever. Just putting that out there, just to let you guys know where the timeline is for the podcast.
Get your gains, bro.
Yeah, I gotta get my gains. But that's why I was up at 4 a.m. when I watched the pseudo Smash Direct last week, because I had just gotten back from the gym. I ate all that stuff. So yeah, but let's continue down with the chat. Chris is saying apparently Mementos is also staged in this game he played called SRB2 Kart. Okay. All right. Oh wow. So Justin is saying he was actually offended about the Twin Towers custom stage. He reported it. Okay. I mean, that is... I haven't seen it, but I mean, that is a touchy subject, so...
Very offensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I can see that.
I can see that, for sure.
Luckily, I didn't even see the stage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't either. I don't think that's cool though.
Right.
Yeah, so somebody in my stream had it downloaded and we played it, and I was like, "What the absolute fuck, guys?
Yeah,
Stop!"
that's
There,
weird.
there are, like I said, man, there's a wide range of personality and creativity with the custom stage builder. Some of it is not going to be the most positive. Some of it will be. Some of it's just going to be, we're not going to know what the hell it is. It's just gonna be something. But yeah, for sure. Actually, Chris is saying he made a level called Coin Mania for Super Mario Maker. Okay. For a second, I saw that chat earlier. I thought you were saying you made that stage in Smash Brothers. Like, is there a way to put coins? Maybe draw fake coins, right?
Oh yeah.
It'd be interesting if they could add coins though. Maybe do you guys think they'll ever like update the stage builder more? Will like they add more to it?
Maybe.
Yeah, add more tools to use,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. I think
Yeah.
it would be
They
also
could.
cool. It would also be cool if they made it so that you can plant certain items somewhere.
Yeah, like default items for that particular stage.
Yeah, right. So it would always spawn in a particular location.
But I had
Oh, what if you could
Jacob's
put
in the
default
chat.
assist trophies or items? Oh my god, that would be
I feel
amazing.
I was playing a stage and it just kept spawning those bumpers, like I was saying before. So there's something like that in it already, I guess.
They could, because I would imagine if you could activate or spawn an assist trophy like fighter of some kind, you can have stages that really kind of recreate scenes from different games. Like you can make Shadow Moses and have Gray Fox attack Snake.
Oh man, there's a lot of options here. They really, yeah. I think that I would love it if they were to go to these lengths. That would be incredible. So I want to point out we just got a super chat from Mark Jacobs. Thank you very much, man. I really appreciate it. He's saying he's loving the podcast, guys.
Chat.
Yeah, thank you so much, buddy.
Praise be to Lord Jacobs.
Yeah,
But
because
it's
he said
not
Lord
with a
Jacobs.
K. It's not with a C.
Who's watching Game of Thrones? Who's been
Not
watching
me.
Game of Thrones?
Me.
Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil anything for anyone. Just say I'm pretty hyped about it. Just putting that out there. All right, moving on. So, hello there, computer robots. You're saying that you want Dante, Sub-Zero, and Banjo-Kazooie in Smash. I think those are all wonderful choices. I think they're all really cool. So, yeah, they're amazing. Actually, we haven't really. I don't really know what to say in regards to Mortal Kombat. I want to see like direct feed, clean footage of Mortal Kombat on the Switch. I know there's been like some unofficial videos circulating, but I want to see clean footage. I'm basically waiting for that Digital Foundry comparison. That's what I'm waiting for. Like I want a clean. Like, there's been some comparisons, but none of them have been really clean footage side by side, very clearly. Like I saw one comparison, but the video was like really small. Like it wasn't even taking up the whole screen. Like I want to see comparison to this. I want to see how it's gonna look and run. From what I've seen, it seems fine. The lighting just doesn't seem as advanced. That's what I've seen.
I don't know. I'll probably just mention it now that I've kind of been playing the game already.
Oh, okay. What do you think?
And the thing, like, the game is very clearly running at 60 frames.
That's a good thing.
There's not much slowdown. There's only been one moment in like in a specific cutscene where there was a bit of a slowdown, but other than that, it seemed to be 60 straight.
Right.
Do you have like connections that like get you it or something?
Well, I'm not like I don't have like review copies, one of those like broken street date things. Yeah. But it is like for the most part, from what I can see, it just seems like it's 60 frames throughout and lowered resolution, obviously less than 720p, I'd say, docked.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I heard that I heard a couple things. I don't know if this first part is true, because I didn't even see like I saw it mentioned somewhere, but I saw it mentioned somewhere that there's two versions of the game. Like there's one that's like the one that was not supposed to be played, right? But then there's supposed to be another version that comes with an update, right? Once the game's updated, it looks and runs a little bit better. So,
Right.
Do you think it's possible that there's a more up-to-date like version that will be live once the game's officially out for Switch, and like it'll look better?
I think so. I mean, because when I put the game in, I did have to do that. If you remember, there was like you have to install like a certain portion of the game.
Okay.
So I did have to do that, but there wasn't any regular updates of any kind. It was just the usual installation. So it would surprise me if there isn't some form of day one update.
I heard that there was a day one patch coming, but I mean, I don't remember who said it. So
I mean, when is there not a day one patch?
Good point. Day one patches are really frequent, especially with third-party AAA games. That's like a given, pretty much, if you think about it. They all do.
It would be a massive shock if there isn't a day one update, because there's a lot of things in the game that I've seen that just don't exist, but they're there as an option.
Okay. Okay, so there probably is definitely a day one update. Will that improve performance and how the game looks? I guess we'll see.
Right.
But
I heard that the store itself, like there's a microtransaction store, and it's not up. So I mean, there'd have to be a day one patch for that. So.
Okay.
Right,
Okay,
and
so
then parts of the tutorials are not even available.
Oh, what? That's so weird.
Wow.
Yeah, like
That is really weird.
they have character specific tutorials, and when I tried, like I tried to go pick the character I was interested in, and it just said like, oh, it's unavailable, like none of the characters are available in that. And I'm like, why?
wow.
I don't know. I would assume that if there's a day one update, they probably like add those in.
Well, yeah, they must send everything out to, or they get everything manufactured, and then if it's not actually ready yet, like most of the game like is not ready, and they send it out to have time to get manufactured, and then day one patch. So
Right.
I mean, I guess it is more time efficient technically. If you think about it, because instead of just delaying the game for like 3 months or whatever, they spend all that time on production, and then it's ready to go after you have a day one patch.
Yeah. Well, I want to see the game. I'm interested in it. I like Mortal Kombat, so I fingers crossed. It's not a bad. Like, well, do you think it's going to be a bad version, Shifty, from what you've seen and played?
Nah, I don't think so. It's one of those situations where the game has lower textures. It's not even HD really, but it runs 60 frames per second for the most part. So I can see like top level tournament players on a plane ride to a major tournament playing on their Switch and just having lagging like that.
And that's an interesting thing, and reminds me, because the Switch launch trailer for it just shows handheld gameplay, right? Like, you can't see a full screen. The only full screen shots they show of Mortal Kombat 11 on the Switch are cutscenes. They don't show actual gameplay full screen. Like, they show, like, there's like, I think it's like an orangish background, then there's the Switch, and then there's the gameplay. So it's like they use several layering features, and it's actually like just a small chunk, like maybe 30% of the actual footage of the size of the footage is the actual gameplay. So they're kind of hiding its resolution by doing that, which
Yeah,
I get
absolutely.
it. So I guess it's not going to be a really good-looking docked game, it seems. However, right, to your point, Shifty, at least based off what I saw from the Switch launch trailer, it does look like it's going to, as far as mobile games go, like this is going to be like the ideal portable Mortal Kombat experience, right? And that's going to be really interesting to see.
I think it's definitely a better port than, say, the Doom or Wolfenstein ports.
Interesting. It's interesting. Okay. I didn't think those are bad ports. I just, the resolution was blurry.
Right. It's you're definitely going to see Mortal Kombat as a blurry game, but at the very least, the game is running at 60 frames.
Which is a big plus over the others. That's for sure. And it makes it, I mean, I'm going to say the Switch Pro stuff talk for later, but it makes me think that, man, if only there was like a Switch Pro, so like you could still have these games on Switch and have that beautiful, portable experience, but still be able to put it into your dock and it be like comparable to other versions. Like Doom and Wolfenstein are kind of blurry, right? Like it's evident that they look fairly worse than the PS4 and Xbox One versions. So hopefully, with the PS4 Pro, that issue is somewhat alleviated, because I don't expect it to really match up. But we'll get into that information later into the podcast. So stay tuned, guys. Stay tuned. But let me get through the chat a little bit, because there's a couple other things I want to address before we move on. Let me see. Oh man, Judge McGee, Thank you. That's what it is. That's what I feel like I've been missing from the first week. Josuke told me, don't forget to sleep without AC on. That's how Saitama did it. Saitama, being the One Punch Man, doing the One Punch Man challenge, the way he became a true superhero was by doing 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 crunches, 100 pull-ups, and then running 10 kilometers every day, and sleeping with no AC. That pushed him to the other level and made him the One Punch Man, where he could basically...
Why isn't he called 100 Punch Man
Because he
then?
beats people with one punch.
He only needs one punch to take anybody out.
One punch.
Well, yeah.
I
know.
That's what it is. 100 push-up dude. Yeah. Yeah. Oh man. I think last year I did do this. So Brandon Stanley just asked me, are you going to do an E3 predictions video or stream, Andres? At some point, yes. I think the thing is, for me, I first need to wait on that April Nintendo Direct that may or may not happen before I can move into E3 mode, right? Like there are like these goalposts throughout the year for Nintendo, and I think we may be getting to that point. We may not be. It kind of depends. I think last year I had my E3 predictions video like really early. That was like my big play. I was like, I'm doing my predictions video in February because I know what to talk. I don't remember if I think I was wrong because there was definitely no Metroid Prime 4. And I definitely predicted that. So, I was wrong about that one. This year I might do it closer to E3 time, but it's probably going to be like early May. But who knows? Maybe you put that thought in my head. So if it happens this week or next week, don't be surprised.
I probably won't be making E3 predictions till 2-3 weeks before E3.
I'm gonna beat you to the punch, Brandon. Tomorrow! I'm not sleeping tonight. Just kidding. I will sleep.
Yeah, we're probably gonna talk about it on a podcast.
Oh, there's gonna be there's gonna be like 3 podcasts and like 7 videos.
What?
Actually, what's funny is I
that shit.
what I did last year, so I had my E3 predictions video really early, like February or March. I had to look back, but it was really early. We definitely had like a couple podcast discussions on it, but I also started doing an E3 predictions video for each particular game that I thought would be at E3. So I was like, this is what the games they're going to talk about, and this is what I think they're going to get. I don't know how right I was. I was definitely wrong with Metroid Prime 4, I'll just say that, because obviously that shit is just nowhere to be seen for a while. But man, E3 excitement is starting to... It's coming. Like the sizzle is beginning for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Computer Robot just asked, how many times do you guys think about Smash Ultimate a day? At least once.
All day, every day, bro.
I'll tell you this: I've thought more about Smash Ultimate than the previous girl I loved.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I'll say previous girl I love. That's in past tense, so she's no longer in my mind. But
Right.
yeah.
I assume you sleep with your copy then.
I got digital.
Oh.
Wow.
I sleep with my Switch though.
I got mine physical.
I sleep with my Switch though. It's almost always on my bed.
I had to get mine physical. That was no choice as far as I was concerned.
At the time, the easiest and quickest way I was able to play Smash Bros. Was by getting it digitally. And it's one of those games that, because it's like a fighting game, it's fair. I can like jump into a couple quick matches, so having it always in my Switch is good.
Yeah.
It's like, for example, if I have the cartridge for like Zelda, Mario, or Dark Souls, which are like good like single player games, but if I just want to like take a quick break and play that, I can always jump into Smash no matter what game I'm playing because it's already always on my system because I have it digitally. So
Yeah,
I
no, I agree.
buying it physically, so.
Yeah, you
I
save
kind
money.
of wish that I could have gotten it digital, but like I just had to offload things on my Switch to just to download the Joker update. So it's like,
yeah.
I don't know. It's not a lot of space is what I'm saying.
Right. I mean, for me, I did the whole like line in Nintendo NYC, so it was like when I did that line, I was like, I have to get it physical because it's not really I can't just wait online for like 10 days and then just like go get it digital.
Shifty, I just realized something. We could both go to the Nintendo New York store together. I live in Jersey City.
Yeah, we could, but you don't hit me up.
You don't hit me up. It goes both ways, buddy. When's the next big game that we should go to the store together for?
Isn't like the rumor Mario Maker like the next big one or something?
I don't want to get that retail though.
That's your fault. See, this is what I mean. You're making it difficult.
I am making it. I would be willing to get Luigi's Mansion 3 digital.
I mean, I
mean retail. Pokemon for sure will retail.
Yeah, Pokemon
will be retail. We're gonna do this at least once a year. We're gonna wait together in line and get pizza.
No, we could do that.
Right.
Cause I know a pizza spot nearby, so.
There we go. All right, it's happening. It's happening.
What?
Hey, we could even vlog it. We can make it interesting.
Oh, you could do a vlog.
Yeah, I don't do that, but I'll figure it out.
Do like a live vlog, just sitting there, just constant live stream.
Have the podcast live from in front of the store.
Yo, that would be really interesting. Yo, people would just jump in like crazy. It'd be madness. It'd be fun though. It could be fun. Maybe I'll bring like a table, like just bring a portable table. I think there's some potential here. There's some serious potential here.
We'll talk about it. We
got time. We got time.
I like it. I like that idea.
This is going in a really good direction. But let me address this comment from Brandon Stallion. Let's move on with the topics though. So Brandon Stallion's asking. So this is a question for all four of you. Have any of you pre-ordered Super Mario Maker 2? And if not, do you plan to? My mom already pre-ordered it for me from Best Buy, so I'm set to get it in June. I have not pre-ordered it. I'm probably just gonna get it digitally.
I want to say, like, it's very rare that I pre-order a Nintendo game because I've always like, oh, I'll just go to the event in Nintendo NYC and have fun and talk to people and that kind of thing. So it's like, it's very rare that I end up going anywhere. Like, if it's a first-party Nintendo game, it's very rare that I pre-order it and go somewhere else. That's the thing. If it's something like Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, I guess, or I guess maybe Astral Chain 2, that's something I'll probably end up pre-ordering because I don't see myself going to the store for that.
Yeah, it might be a little quiet in the line.
Yeah, it might just be me.
Unfortunately, because I think Astral Chain has some serious potential.
Yeah.
It may be one of those games that it won't start off really strong, but hopefully it's like it'll gain traction as more and more people play it, right?
I feel like Xenoblade was like that, like Xenoblade Chronicles 2 at least, or
I still don't think it gets the representation it deserves. Too many people sleep on Xenoblade. It's ridiculous.
It's so good, dude.
I think part of the reason people sleep on it though is because there are some people who just don't like anime, and they see the anime look and they're just like, nope, too anime for me, which I hate. I hate that opinion.
Yeah.
Lol me.
Yeah.
I mean, my one of my favorite games of all time is the first Xenoblade Chronicles.
Yes, that is definitely one of the best games ever made.
Really good. Really
it's
good.
Easily top 10 for me.
Yeah. It is definitely, maybe, no, for sure. I'm thinking about like the RPG hierarchy for me. It's really good, dude. I would just cry and like whenever the opening theme for Xenoblade would start, I would just stare at the Monado on the hill with the sky changing and the music. Like that might be the best start screen ever. Dude,
imagine a full like remake, like, you know, like not like a remaster, but a full remake of the original Xenoblade for the Switch, like ground up.
It'd be really cool.
My God.
But for me, I would just prefer they focus on the next Xenoblade game because I want a new story. I just want a new story, like, because I've already seen a story. Yes, it's fun to re-experience it, but it's even better when you've never experienced it, you know?
Right. I just, like, there's just so many, like, every time I go to think of the Xenoblade timeline and, like, stuff, I'm like, oh, how did that go again? I feel like the story's so freaking long.
That's true. There's a lot of elements to it that I don't remember.
I could replay that game and I'd be still, like, remembering.
Not to mention the ending's a little confusing. So,
the ending is so confusing.
Yeah. I'll admit that I guess with that story, there's so much to it that going back after so many years, it'll still feel pretty fresh.
Yeah, of course the major, you know, topics you remember, but there's a lot of, you know, stuff that you've probably forgotten, just because there's so many side characters and stories going on and stuff.
I'll be honest.
Intricacies.
I feel that if they were gonna do anything with the original Xenoblade Chronicles, I would rather they make it an HD remaster than a full remake. Just because I don't hate the art style in part 2, but I wouldn't want them to change part 1's art style to become more like 2. And I feel like if they did remake it, they would kind of use those kind of newer, like they would use like Shulk's model from that game or something. Or they would use like Fiora's model from that game, or maybe something along those lines that kind of updated to what their current idea.
I understand what you're saying, but I also have to say that I love Fiora Shulk's newer model. Like if the game had those models, I'd be so hyped.
I mean, I don't quite fit the original art style. I don't think if they'd use the. I don't think they use the same art style as X.
I don't think they would use the same one as Xenoblade 2 either.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's trust issues with it, but
I don't see why they would. To be honest, it's just 2 models.
It's
if they wanted to remake it, they could just remake those 2 models in the old art style instead of remaking everything in 2's art style just because there's 2 models already made.
Well, I don't think it would, because the thing is, like, it's not like they just do the art style purely just because, like, oh, let's appeal to the anime market. Like, they think about how, like, the designers think about, okay, they think about the game, the context of the game, the gameplay, and how it matches up to their image of the game, right? If you look at Xenoblade 1, I would say the tone for Xenoblade 1 is a bit more serious than Xenoblade 2, right? So, and the art style matches there. Like, Xenoblade 2, while there are some serious moments, they really play to like the comedy aspect a bit more in Xenoblade 2 with the interaction of the characters, and having the anime look and the expressiveness of that like really goes towards that, I think. So, you know, I don't think it was just like, hey, we're just moving in the anime direction and that's how our games are gonna look from now on. I think they actually think about the context of the story and the gameplay, and they pick like a design for that. It may be, it's not 100% that, but I think it's a combination. So if they were to like go and remake it, I don't think they would copy or make it exactly like the Xenoblade 2 style or close to. I think they would still honor the original direction of the game. So I think it would be more close to that, and the spaces wouldn't be blurry anymore, which would be great.
I mean, that would be great.
Sense.
Yeah, I just feel like it would, I don't know, I feel that they would kind of just change the art style to a certain, to kind of like match what they want Xenoblade to be, if that makes sense. Kind of like when Fire Emblem remade Fire Emblem, their second Fire Emblem game, I forgot the original name. They didn't just make it look like the same Fire Emblem from back in the day. They made it look like Fire Emblem, what it is now.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Well, to counter that, you look at what they did with Ocarina of Time 3D and Majora's Mask 3D. Yes, it looks different from the previous games, but they were trying to match the original art style. So
I think they're just trying to make it look closer to the artwork.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's what I was trying to say. So I think if they were to remake Xenoblade 1, it wouldn't be so much they're trying to go back to Xenoblade 2. I think it'd be more trying to match the original art style. Now, if the original art style is more, I want to go back and look at some of the concept art, but you know, if you're not a fan of that, then maybe I would be a little concerned, because I do think there is something to the way they designed it for Wii that's kind of like I like some of the, you know, it's kind of like you kind of learn to appreciate the roughness around the edges, right? Like they had to make concessions, you learn to appreciate that, you know what I mean? So I would also be just, even though I'm like providing counter argument Shifty, I would be okay if they just like, you know, clean up the textures and you know, just put it in HD. Like I'd be okay with that too. I wouldn't mind that.
Right.
I mean, I'd be happy, but I'd much prefer a full remake. But obviously, that's a lot of work. It's a big.
I'd rather
game.
they focus that effort and make a new Xenoblade game. They could have another team that's you know, like they can hire a third-party developer to just clean up the textures and put it in HD. You know, do some quality of life changes. They can oversee it just to make sure they don't screw it up. We get Xenoblade HD, and then they're still focusing on making Xenoblade 3. And it's kind of like the best of both worlds, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That could be something that they would do, because the port doesn't take as much effort, obviously, as a new game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even for a full remake, technically, you don't need that original team working on it.
Right.
If you just,
Yeah.
True. That's also true. But let's get
Yeah,
back to
no,
the first topic, because we still never finished the first topic.
No, did we not?
No. There's
God.
there's still things I want to address. Yeah. So first of all, I want to talk about how I personally, at least, and if you guys agree or disagree, just let me know. But I feel like after the Smash Direct, right? There's some pieces of information that have come out that have kind of changed the narrative a little bit on who the DLC characters could be, right? So, and I talked about it in my videos this week. Like, first of all, one of the big rumors that was considered to be super credible, that really propelled Erdrick to its level of widespread agreement that he likely is going to be the next candidate, is because there was this rumor that talked about Joker and having a Memento stage, and also talk about Erdrick. But one of the notes that the Joker aspect of the rumor had was that
There would be a
Jack Frost was going to be in the Memento stage with the skill, and none of that is there. Like, it just seems more like at this point that it was just a good guess. That
Wait, Jack Frost? What?
Yeah, Jack Frost is a character from that, and I don't know too much about Persona, but that's what it is. And he's just not there at all. Like, this is just not the case. So basically, the rumor has been basically debunked. So now that doesn't mean that's not the only piece of evidence in support of Erdrick from Dragon Quest being the character, but it is kind of like one of the reasons why a lot of people are buying into it initially. So it does, in the eyes of many, decrease the chances of that person, right? And then also not that.
Oh, he's from Persona 4. Okay.
And then also, somewhat recently, not as recently, but the information came to light recently because it happened like in November, December. And we mentioned this last podcast or podcast before that. Aubrey Norris, someone who works with Minecraft, right? Who would potentially know, had on Twitter basically talked about how Minecraft Steve would not be a good DLC character for Smash Brothers, which doesn't deconfirm Steve either, right? Like, none of these things deconfirm the characters, but it's like, oh, okay, if they're saying that, then it doesn't make me as confident about it anymore, right? So considering those things,
definitely.
right, people are like, oh, well, if Erdrick and Steve aren't as likely, and also those rumors were also paired with this one rumor that included Doom Guy, Ryu from Ninja Gaiden, and Steve as well. So, like, that's all kind of, like, lost, like, a lot of backing, right? So a lot more, so I guess the narrative has basically been that those characters were the most likely, right? Doom Guy, Steve, Ryu, Erdrick, along with Joker. But now, with the recent update and everything we've seen from it, it seems a little bit less likely. Now, it doesn't mean it's not happening, right? Maybe Nintendo doesn't want us to know that. Like, there's different things, like, you know, it could still happen. But point is that it's not as wide of a consensus anymore. So the doors have kind of opened for more options, right? So
Yeah.
I kind of love the idea of not knowing what's gonna happen. Right? I love the idea of not knowing. I want to be surprised, which is why I was really excited about Joker, even though I've never played Persona, because I didn't see that coming at all. Right? There's also why Piranha Plant was epic, even though Shifty, you knew about that, right? And I was like, there's just no way this is happening. Then it happened. I was like, whoa. Like, I was surprised. It was crazy. Like, so even if I don't get what I want, if I'm surprised, I'm more happy. Like, if we end up getting Steve, Ryu, Doom Guy, and Erdrick, I'm like, oh, I literally knew everything was going to happen months before it happened. That's going to be a little disappointing for me. So I have this hope, which is backed by, you know, these recent pieces of information. They're kind of detracting from the rumors that we're going to get characters that we don't really necessarily see coming. No,
that could be.
I hope. I really do. I really hope that's the case. Brandon, Shifty, where do you guys stand on that as well? Like,
I was really dead set on the idea that this was like the third party DLC pack. They were all going to be third parties. And now I'm just like, I have this like sneaking suspicion that E3 is going to come around and they're going to announce some first party character for Smash and it's just going to destroy all of that.
Like, everyone thinks I still think it's going to be all third party. But I would love that.
For me, it's kind of more 50-50 now. Instead, like, I was kind of dead set on it before. Now I'm just kind of like, it might happen.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I was thinking that also, that it was gonna be like all third-party characters. I'm not really sure why I thought that. Maybe it's because they said that it's gonna be like only characters who have not been represented. Oh gosh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Excuse me. I thought it was maybe it was because they said that it was gonna be only characters that have never been represented before in Smash, and so that made me think third party, but like it might not necessarily be third party. I don't know.
I think, well, if you there's another consideration is that we got a whole bunch of spirits from Persona, right? So I think whenever you get a challenger pack, the idea is that we're gonna get a lot of spirits from that franchise. So if there's already not really too many spirits to add from a particular franchise, maybe that's not a good bet to make for this first Fighters Pass, right?
Yeah.
So while I wouldn't say spirits
Good
are
point.
technically a deconfirmation, if the franchise is underrepresented by spirits, then maybe there's a chance, right?
Oh, true. Like you know who doesn't have very many spirits? Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah, and we talked about how one of the early data mines had a list of games that could have spirits in it, and a couple were Jet Force Gemini and Blast Corps, and
Yep.
there are no actual spirits from those franchises, but the coding had those names in the listing, which are games owned by Rare, which is owned by Microsoft, so it's suggestive that at least at some point there may have been a conversation between the two companies. Will that actually mean anything? I don't know. I hope so. I think it does mean Banjo-Kazooie, but you know, we'll have to wait and see, but I kind of like the idea of that. Shifty, I know that you have some piece of information, so you may not want to speak your mind on this, I don't know, but is there anything that you want to say on this, that you can say on this?
Not much, honestly. The most I can, I mean, about the whole whether or not it's like fully third-party characters in the Fighters Pass or there will be first parties, whatever. From what I'm hearing, it sounds like it's all going to be third party, but I can't say for sure.
Right.
Because Nintendo's been doing that thing where it's like, oh well, at least leakers have been saying they've been doing this thing where they're specifically putting out false information to try to like catch leakers.
Yeah, to try to catch. Yeah.
So I could very well like. The main reason why I haven't said much about the characters that I've heard about is mainly for that reason. I want to make sure that, you know, it's verified, basically. So I could say that it probably is going to be all third party, but I don't want to say for sure with 100% certainty.
Yeah, and the thing is, but I'm inclined to agree with you, Shifty, and not even considering the leak perspective, because I have to go back and check, but I'm pretty sure there was a tweet from Sakura that talked about how he literally said, hey, look, when there's every other challenger pack, I expect a whole bunch of new spirits for that challenger pack, something along those lines, right? Now, forgive me for not having the exact quote, but basically something along those lines. Actually, do you want to see if we can look that up real quick? This Twitter's in Japanese, so it's hard for me to find it. If I type Sora, will it come up? Yeah. Let me see if I can get it. Okay, this is 18 hours ago, so I don't think this is the one. Translate tweet. At least he said something about Chrono, which is crazy. Okay, moving on. Chrono Trigger. Damn, what if that was a square word? It's Chrono Trigger? That'd be crazy.
Frog from Chrono Trigger needs to be a thing.
Alright, when did the Smash content come out? Let me see. Man, is this even the right one? Wait, this might be it. Okay, I think this is it. Alright, let me see. Let me read it real quick. Yep, this is it. This is exactly what I was looking for. Alright, I'm going to show you guys right now. Sorry, thank you for bearing with me, people. But this will basically confirm what I'm talking about. Alright, so this is a translation. So, you know, take it, it's the translation, but I'm going to read the translation. This is from Sora Sakurai, Masahiro Sakurai. This is an official thing. This is him, right? Creator of Smash Brothers. In the award, we also add the Spirit Battle, Of course, the theme is tied to each character. Unlike the spirit board, it does not escape or switch. You can fight freely and get spirits as many times as you want. This is going to add each time DLC fighter enters, so please enjoy. Again,
translation.
Oh, there you go.
it's broken translation, but I feel like the final line is fairly convincing.
It's obvious that
pretty
that's what he's
clear.
trying to say.
It's pretty clear.
That whenever we
Yeah.
get a new DLC fighter, there's going to be a whole bunch of spirits added, which, if you think about the implication, it has to be from underrepresented franchises that actually have spirits to be added, right? Banjo-Kazooie is an option. Basically, third parties that aren't in Smash Brothers. Like, maybe there's a Nintendo character out there that franchise doesn't have that many spirits, but Smash has a lot of spirits, right? Like,
Yeah.
I could say Kid Icarus or Star Tropics, but I bet they
And
still
they're
have spirits.
mostly Nintendo, aren't they? Yeah. So.
Yeah. So I think it's probably all third party as well.
What about Paper Mario though? I wonder about that. Do they have a lot of spirits? I don't
Think-
don't-
I
Like-
want to say yes.
I think they have a good amount.
Yeah.
Not a ton,
Okay.
but
Like they
Like
could
a
still
few.
maybe add a few, probably, but I know there's probably at least like 5 or 6 at least.
Okay.
So I'm inclined to believe.
Well, then it's probably
It's-
not
it's
Gino. Sorry, everyone who wanted Gino.
Yeah, I don't think it's Gino either. Even though I really want Gino, I think. Again, I want to say that who's to say there's only one Fighters Pass, right?
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
But
Oh,
I'm
we're
not
just
I'm not
talking
for
about
sure.
this
I'm
Fighters
not
Pass,
100%
right?
on it though. But I will say that now that we have the custom stage tab on the stage select screen for Smash Brothers, and we got the Joker stage added, there were 6 spots where people were thinking that maybe one of them would be for stage editor. It's actually just an additional tab on the top, leaving 5 more spots once you add mementos, suggesting there could be 5 more stages for Smash Bros. Assuming they don't change around the order or anything like that. If that's the case, there are 4 more challenger packs where we're guaranteed to get 4 more stages. This is just my personal speculation, right? But you know how we were teased or heartbroken when they showed the Mii costume for Rex, and they said, "Hey, sorry, you couldn't actually add him because there wasn't enough time. But here we're gonna give you the Fighters Pass and you have this Mii costume." What if once the whole year's over in like February time, we get all of the challenger packs, we get the 4 stages, and they're like, "Hey, here's a bonus. Here's Rex and Pyra. Here's a Xenoblade 2 stage for free."
Oh wow,
That's just my personal speculation, pseudo hope kind of thing.
wow.
I think they're just gonna be dicks and leave an empty spot.
That very well could be possible. I think that pretty much happened in Smash Wii U. So
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I could see them adding stages on their own, but I don't see them being free in the slightest.
No,
Piranha
they're
Plant was
freaking
free.
charging you for me costumes, so
maybe it won't be
there's no way
free. But what do you think of that at least, though?
75 cents a Mii costume. How is that even worth it to them?
it's way too much money.
Actually, there's another point that was made about Mii costumes that could give us more information on where they're going with the Smash characters. So a lot of the third-party Mii costumes were taken out from Smash Wii U, right? And some of them have come back with the Persona update because we got the Sega ones, because Sega apparently owns Atlas, right? So having Persona is kind of like more Sega representation, and they got some Mii costumes added. They re-added Tails and Knuckles as Mii costumes. Those are old Mii costumes from the Wii U version. So the idea is that the other third parties that lost their Mii costumes will be getting them when they get their own packs added to Smash Brothers.
Oh yeah, that would definitely make
So-
sense because then they could kind of recoup the money they lost on the Wii.
Exactly. So the speculation is that one of them would be Capcom, another would be Namco, and then I believe another would be Square.
Where we got possibly the Dragon Quest.
It could be Erdrick. It could also maybe Sora from Kingdom Hearts, right? It could maybe be Chrono from Chrono Trigger, right? Sakurai just tweeted about Chrono Trigger. So, those are all considerations. I would say Erdrick's the most likely, and then maybe Sora, maybe Chrono, but, all of those would be crazy to have. Capcom, in my recent, Smash videos, more of a wish list, but it kind of matches...
Can we please get Sissel in Smash, please?
I was going to say Leon S. Kennedy from Resident Evil 4 and 2.
What? No.
Yes.
No.
Yes, Leon is pretty. He's got
Sissel,
nice hair.
Sissel for Smash.
And he can do suplexes, and he fights giant trolls and kills zombies. And he can shoot
Okay,
rocket
but
launchers.
if anybody gets my reference, I'll be really impressed. I'll be impressed with you guys.
Get the reference, guys. Do it.
Somebody get the reference. Sissel for Smash.
Who is Sissel actually?
He's okay. No, nobody's probably gonna get the reference, but so he's from Ghost Trick, which is made by Capcom, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I still don't know about it.
No, yeah, I don't know what that is.
Ghost. It was like a kind of like a. I don't want to say puzzle, but it was like kind of a puzzle game from on the DS. It was like you go like you die, your character Sissel dies, and he has to like there's like this like his like spirit is like this like little flame, and you have to like use the touch screen to like boink between like places that you can travel. So it's pretty cool. They have it on smartphones now, just
Okay.
like the Ace Attorney games. Also, Phoenix Wright for Smash.
I was gonna say that, like, if we're talking about Capcom reps, besides Leon S. Kennedy, Phoenix Wright comes to mind as well.
Yeah, Phoenix Wright for Smash.
I still want Leon. I'm not saying which is. I don't know who's most likely. I just want Leon S. Kennedy. Like, to me, he's the coolest. He's so cool. So I'd love it if he could be in. And apparently, some people are kind of agree with me though, because like since Joker is using guns, people kind of feel like that barrier of entry where he just uses too many realistic human weapons. Like that barrier has been kind of like been dragged down a bit because we have Bayonetta, right? We have Snake. Now we have Joker.
No, Bayonati! Down with Bayonati.
Oh man.
Down with Bayonati.
Yeah.
I'm just curious to see if Doom Guy ends up being a thing, how they handle that moveset.
Oh yeah, it'd be
Yeah.
interesting, man. Oh dude, that'd be so cool. That would be so. I would like to see Doom Guy. I think that'd be pretty neat.
Honestly, out of all the characters out of that leaked list,
Yeah.
I feel that knowing myself and my own personal taste, Joker and Doom Guy are probably the ones that hit me the most.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I haven't really played much of Dragon Quest in the same. I played Minecraft, but I would assume like the average person's amount when it was like the most popular thing on the planet.
Yeah. I want to speak to that point though. So like, I can appreciate. I can, as someone who I have a YouTube channel, Nintendo gaming channel. I try to be well-rounded with my knowledge, even though it is definitely Nintendo focused. Like I still I still understand all of the franchises. I want to learn about them, play them. But like, I mean, I gotta be real with you, right? Let's look at the list. Joker from Persona, Steve from Minecraft, Doom Guy from Doom, right? Ryu Hayabusa from Ninja Gaiden, and Erdrick from Dragon Quest 3. Like, those are all characters who have legacies, right? They are important to the industry, but none of them like scream like, damn, Nintendo fans are gonna love this, right? Like they're kind of on the outer, they're on the outer spectrum of the Nintendo fandom interest. You know what I mean? Do you guys kind of disagree with me with that sentiment? I mean, we already got Joker, so I'm not saying that means they're not happening. I'm just saying like it does kind of feel like it's more of a broad reach.
I think it depends on when exactly the Nintendo fan kind of like started playing Nintendo, if that makes sense. Because you can very well make the argument that a younger fan would love seeing Minecraft in Smash, or someone who started in the days of the Super Nintendo where JRPGs were huge. They probably love Persona 5 and Dragon Quest.
Maybe you're right, and maybe it's because I'm a 90s kid, but as a 90s kid, right, grew up on the N64, Doom, I mean, I think Doom is cool, but I mean, there's nothing, I have no sentimental value, it holds no sentimental value to me. Neither does Joker, neither does Steve, neither does Erdrick from Dragon Quest 3, okay, that's old, right? And like, what's the other one? Ryu from Ninja Gaiden. Like, there was only like one like Ninja Gaiden on the Wii U, and it was a trash heap.
The thing
Oh.
the thing is that every single one of those characters have some kind of loose connection to Nintendo in the past.
And you're right, they do.
Doom Guy had a game on the N64 and Super Nintendo. You had Dragon Quest, a bunch of games on Nintendo. You have
And on
Shin
the
Megami
Switch.
Tensei.
Yeah.
Doom 2016. Yeah. Like every one of them has some kind of, especially Ryu Hayabusa. He has games on the NES, the SNES.
True. I mean, if you go back to those roots, right? Absolutely for sure. I mean, and there was Doom 64. Like they've all had. The only one of those, the one that has the least like Nintendo influence, is actually Joker.
Right.
His only like the closest link you can make with Joker is that his series that's not on Nintendo is a spin-off of a series that is on Nintendo.
Yeah. That it's funny. It's funny how that works out. But you know, I came up with my wish list video, right? My wish list, right, is, well, I put Sora, but I would really like, Sora's fine, but maybe swap him for Chrono, that'd be cool too. But Leon S. Kennedy, Nightmare or Siegfried from Soul Calibur, right, and then Banjo and Kazooie. That would be like my dream list, assuming they're all third-party characters. Do you guys have a particular wish list for the remaining four? Not predictions, wish list. You know, there's a difference, right?
So
like
a dream scenario.
Dream scenario for you. Assume, but follow the rule that that it's third-party characters, though.
Okay.
Well, like I said, Sissel from Ghost Trick. Like, I want that to happen.
Okay.
I think that would be pretty cool.
I would say, honestly, I would actually keep Doom Guy. I've played every single Doom game, so I'm kind of a big Doom fan, I guess you could say.
I'll tell you this, I'm not as much of a Doom fan as you, but for my wish list video, I almost kept Doom Guy in my wish list. Almost. It was close.
Like, I genuinely love playing the Doom games. I grew up with, like, old school shooters and whatnot, so I played GoldenEye and Perfect Dark back then, and I also played Doom and Doom 2 and all the other Doom games, so, like, I think for me, Doom Guy would kind of just represent those old school shooters.
Right, and that deserves, I feel like that deserves representation. And also, we do know Bethesda was in talks with Nintendo, so, and Smash did come up. We don't know what that means, but it came up. So,
right.
You know.
So I would keep Doom Guy in there, and also, because someone brought it up in chat, I also would love to see Travis Touchdown.
Travis Touchdown would be epic. Yeah. That'd be really cool. So, you got Doom Guy and Travis Touchdown. Kazoo, you have Sissel. We got any others?
The only ones I can really think of are Doom Guy and Banjo Kazooie. It's like all I want.
I think of Banjo Kazooie also. I do think Phoenix Wright would be cool.
Phoenix Wright
would be cool.
I don't know how they make that work, but I imagine Objection would be part of his moveset.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hold it.
Yeah.
You need Master Chief. That's what we need. That's what we want.
Oh my god.
Yeah, maybe. So Mastermind is here. What's up, bro? A Soul Cal character. Yeah. So the speculation right now is that a lot of the old third-party Mii costumes that were taken out will be brought back with each challenger pack. Like Sega got their Mii fighters back, so Namco, Capcom, and Square will be presumably getting their Mii costumes back in a pack as well. Maybe it's speculation. That doesn't have to go in that way. It could be done at any point. But if that were to happen, I guess we should expect a Namco character, a Square character, and a Capcom character. For me, I'm filling those up with Leon S. Kennedy, Siegfried or Nightmare from Soul Calibur, Namco, and then Square could either maybe be Erdrick, Chrono, or Sora. But the interesting thing about the Soul Calibur character, though, going back to the whole stage builder Gruntilda Banjo argument, there is another shot from the stage builder that people remarked was highly reminiscent of a Soul Calibur 2 stage along with Link. So, you know, maybe, you know, I don't think it's out of the question. And I personally would love it if they were to bring Soul Calibur 6 or Soul Calibur 6S, like a special Soul Calibur 6 version to Switch, so maybe that's in the works. I'd really like that. But on that note, I think we should also maybe talk about Mortal Kombat, because Mortal Kombat is coming out now. This, day and date release on the Switch, and there have been talks about Scorpion or Sub-Zero maybe making into Smash Brothers. How do you guys feel about that? Would you guys be okay with that?
I think it'd be cool.
I mean,
go ahead, Shifty.
I was just gonna say, like, I'd be okay with it, but I don't see it.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I think it's possible, but there's like so many possibilities. I wouldn't like really consider it very likely either. But it would be cool. Maybe we could just play Mortal Kombat if we really want to, play with them.
Right.
Yeah. So, but let's move on, because we got a lot to talk about, guys. And we're over an hour and a half in, and we're just finished the first topic.
Yeah.
But the
I
first
blame
topic,
you.
you should blame me. But the first topic was layered. It was more like multiple topics. Let's be real.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was like, dang.
Yeah. This one though is interesting. So, you guys heard that Reggie retired last Monday, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh yes. How could we forget?
So then, bearing that in mind, let me go to Twitter and pull this image up from Reggie's Twitter account. But he retired on Monday, and on the 17th...
He just got a Twitter account.
He did. He got a Twitter account. He
of
didn't
course,
follow me.
after he stopped working at Nintendo, he got the Twitter account, which I don't get. He has almost 400,000 followers. It's crazy.
Oh, wow.
But anyway, I'm
That's
sorry.
insane. In
Sorry
a
to
week,
cut
he has
you off
400...
again.
That's fine. No, we're good. So here's the image, guys. I'll post that for you. So, I'm gonna assume you guys can see it on stream. Let me double check.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good. Okay, great. So, this image was a photo that he took of him celebrating his retirement. He got several gifts from a lot of different Nintendo employees, and the picture in the front, in the middle, I mean, is a picture from Retro Studios. They created an artwork involving Diddy Kong, Dixie Kong, Donkey Kong, Metroids, and Samus, all surrounding Reggie. Thanks for playing, and all of the Retro Studios members signed around the painting, and they framed it and they gave it to Reggie. I think that's really, really cute and cool. But what's kind of making everyone go nuts is that there's a Mario statue placed conveniently on the left side, and you look very carefully, the bottom left side of the screen, there's a metal hand. No one has any idea what that is from or for. Like, no one can figure it out. There's no... First of all, the amount of Retro Studios games that Retro's worked on, there aren't very many of them, so it isn't like we have a lot to pull from to sort of find what it could possibly be. And there's nothing, not even from Nintendo's history, there's nothing that quite matches that hand. So people are really thinking that this is something new. And there's even an argument to be made about right under Samus's arm cannon, it looks like there's a little other metal thing that might not be related to her arm cannon, and there may even be like an ear right under it. Maybe. I'm not 100% convinced on it. Go on, Brandon. What were you gonna say?
It kind of looks. Now I'd have to zoom in to really get a good look on it. But it kind of looks like the side of like a robot's head, and there's like this kind of half circle with 3 holes, and it looks like an ear. Oh, that broke.
Give me a second.
There we go.
Is that better? A little easier to see.
Yeah. See, it kind of looks like the side of a robot head, but it could just be her arm.
It's just the thing is, I know Samus's arm cannon, and there's nothing under it. There's nothing. I don't remember that. Like, the thing is, like, people might think, oh, that could be the grapple hook, but the thing is, the grapple hook's supposed to be higher up on the arm, and it's on the left arm, not the right arm cannon arm. So I don't know what that is. Maybe it could still be a part of it, right? Hard to say for sure. But one thing that is certain, that metal hand has nothing to do with Samus. That's not like Samus's tail, okay? That is different. But to further back this point up that it is a tease for something, an intentional tease for something, a official, currently employed Retro Studios artist who works with Retro Studios, an employed artist at Retro Studios, quoted the image and put a winky face. I believe his name was, I want to say, damn it, something Rivera. Damn it.
Rivera is a very interesting name.
Damn it. No, it's like Angelo Rivera. I'm gonna get the name right now. Give me a second. Oh, damn it.
I feel like I have seen like a good amount of people say that they think this is an accidental leak. There's no way that's accidental.
I don't think it's accidental. How do you put the Mario statue blocking this beautiful image that they worked
There's
on?
There's literally a whole giant spot to the left where you could have put that instead of blocking part of this. Like,
Right.
why the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. The flowers are so obvious.
It reminds me of when people thought they leaked stage creator for Smash. It was like, no, that was deliberate.
Yeah.
Yeah, they take time and edit this and look at this stuff. I would say I will say that the stage editor one I feel like is more likely to be a leak than this one, right? But still, I agree with you guys that it wasn't.
Intentional. It was probably an intentional tease.
Right. Yeah, I feel that the stage creator situation is just clearly deliberate. It has to go through editors. It has to go through all the people running the whole acting like scene or whatever. It has to go through Nintendo's social media. It has to go through all these people, and not a single person noticed that.
When they were putting up the footage, literally, why would you put it like the only screen that shows stage editor? There's plenty of other screens that don't show it, like most of the game.
Right, they could have literally showed the main menu.
Yeah.
And by the way, guys, here is the Retro Studios artist, Enrique Rivera. Here he is tweeting the quote, right? Like, this is legit, guys. This is him. We go to LinkedIn profiles and prove it, but I think this is enough has been said in relation to proving this. Like, this is happening. Question is, what is it? Right? Like, does anyone disagree that it's a tease? Do any of you think it might not be a tease?
I think it has to be. Like, they're not just gonna do that accidentally. Like, you know.
This is clearly deliberate. I also feel that since a lot of people felt like, oh, they were gonna do something big to, commemorate Reggie before he leaves. I think this is it.
They did.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
This is Reggie giving us his last hint to us before he leaves.
That may be the case. As soon as I will 100% not disagree. I will 100% agree with you if there is no direct this week. But I am like, I agree that this may be like Reggie's last thing for like it may. I think it kind of is. Like it is now. So and see, the thing is that I it's funny because I think a lot of people were honestly thinking the Retro Studios just canceled whatever game they were working on, just went on to Metroid Prime 4. And I said this a few times already, but I just want to walk through it one more time. Like, think about it. Like, would Nintendo really trust this game they've already invested a lot of money into and a few years of development time into, restart development, give it to Retro Studios, who hasn't been able to make a game in 5 years?
Yeah.
Right.
Not to mention, they went out and said that they want to make sure this game matches up to the original mastery of Metroid Prime 1, right? They wanted it to match the expectation for that. And to put it into more perspective, the only other time Nintendo went out and created a dedicated video publishing on their channel with their executive speaking out so professionally and openly in this way was when they delayed Breath of the Wild. So that's the only other time they did it. So just to put into perspective of how important this game is to them for it to be good. So I don't think Nintendo would have just trust Retro Studios if they were not able to make a game in 5 years. I think they made the game, they finished it, and because they finished it, that's why they started Metroid Prime 4.
Nintendo knows what it is. Nintendo knows.
Right.
Reggie knows.
But we don't. So what is it? What do you guys think it is? Do you guys think we're gonna see it soon or no?
GB Robo.
I'm thinking it could possibly release this year.
Yeah, maybe. I'm thinking we'll see it soon. Probably
I think so.
Maybe
we'll see it. Maybe we'll see it at E3.
Yeah.
What if we see it like in the Direct or something? In the next Direct?
I don't think it's impossible. I think for sure we see it at E3. For sure. I mean.
Yeah.
Now you go first, Shifty.
Well, I was just gonna say that if we don't end up seeing it at E3, then I think it won't be this year. But I do think that it is possible that we could see it this year if they're already deciding to tease it like this. Right. Especially if they're
Yeah.
close to finished, if not finished, and then went to Metroid Prime.
Yeah, no, I think the game's done. I think it really just comes down to when Nintendo wants to launch it. Now, here's the thing. I'd love it if it were coming out this year, for the record, right? And I think it pretty much has to be a new IP. Like, maybe it could be like some sort of redesigned, like Rob from Star Fox 64. But why would, even if that's the case, and Star Fox Grand Prix is real, which I don't think it is at this point, like, why would Rob be the one character they feature in a painting, right? You know? So like, if Star Fox, assuming Star Fox Grand Prix were real, so I just don't think it's that. Another option that someone suggested to me, but it was maybe it could be for F-Zero, the Red Gazelle, but that's also like a random, not so important character from F-Zero. Like, whatever character is on that painting is a main character, right? Of whatever game Retro Studios is working on. So, you know, I think it pretty much has to be like a new IP. But I don't know if it can come out this year because of how many games are coming out this year. There's a lot.
That's true. There are a lot of games coming out this year. That is true. That is definitely true.
There are a lot of games coming out, but I feel that there isn't enough for the whole entire year, like spanned out evenly.
So let me go over what we know that's officially confirmed for this year that are Nintendo published games.
Animal Crossing,
Luigi's Mansion 3, Pokemon Sword and Shield, I can count this as one.
Mario Maker,
Astral Chain. Nintendo's publishing Dragon Quest XI's. They're also publishing Dragon Quest Builders 2. Those aren't as significant, but they are publishing them, so I'm bringing them up. Town. Link's Awakening.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I feel that Town is, because of it being a smaller project, it's something that could be released alongside another game.
Yeah, I think it'd come out in the same month as like any game. It's more of a companion piece. Same thing with Dragon Quest Builders, right?
Right.
I would even say because Nintendo's just publishing and not developing, whatchamacallit, Dragon Quest XI's, I could see that maybe coming out in the same month as, I don't know, Animal Crossing or something, right?
Yeah.
Same could be said for Daemon X Machina. Nintendo's publishing that. Same could be said for Astral Chain, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at July, there's like three games they have coming out in that 1 month.
Oh, Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem's another one.
Fire Emblem.
But
Fire Emblem.
But just we're already over 10, right? That Fire Emblem was 11.
Right, but Fire Emblem is before E3. Like, is it before E3 or after E3?
E3.
After E3, right?
After E3.
Yeah.
Mario Maker's before E3.
You're right. So, considering that July has about I think it was like 3 games if I remember correctly, or maybe it's 2. But I know Marvel Ultimate Alliance comes out the same.
That's another published Nintendo game.
That's like the week prior to Fire Emblem.
Okay.
And then there was another game coming out the same day as Fire Emblem, but I don't remember what game that was exactly.
Might be Dragon Quest Builders.
I'm not sure. I just remember looking at July and thinking, wow, this is really going to destroy my wallet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just to put it in perspective, we're in April and we just brought up 12 published Nintendo games that still haven't come out.
Right.
That's 12.
Right. Oh.
And there probably will be more. Like, I'm thinking Pikmin 3 or Metroid Prime Trilogy, at least one of those is probably real, right? And
yeah. I just feel that because of the way they've been doing things, I feel like E3 is going to have that game that gets announced and is released within the year.
I think there should be some surprises at E3, so I'm not like disagreeing necessarily, but I think it might be possible that a reveal at E3, like a surprise at E3, might just be Animal Crossing gameplay, and maybe a couple Smash DLC characters. I'm of the frame of mind that Banjo-Kazooie is going to be announced at E3, and it's going to be announced at Rare Replay. Like, I think because Nintendo and Microsoft are going to be both at E3, I think that's going to be a big moment for them. Because Sony's not there, they're kind of sharing the spotlight, and we know Xbox Live is coming basically, and Xbox Game Pass. Like, they may use E3 as a big time for them to get together to announce several projects that are coming to Switch from Microsoft, right? So that may include the rumored Master Chief Collection or Rare Replay and Banjo-Kazooie, or maybe Minecraft Steve as DLC characters for Smash. Like, there's a lot they could do, and I think that's gonna be a big part of the surprise at E3, the Microsoft content. And that doesn't mean the Retro Studios game can also be there as well. I'm just saying that that's another element to maybe consider.
Right. I just think it's I think it's just very possible if we see it at E3 that could be the game they decide to go, oh hey, let's release it this year just to surprise everyone.
I would love that. I hope that happens. I just don't know what my wallet's gonna say. Like,
I'm not saying it's like the most likely thing, but it wouldn't surprise me.
I think it's gonna be at least revealed at E3. I'm skeptical about it coming out, but like you said, maybe Nintendo's gonna have some surprises. Like that. If there's any given, it's that. There's gonna be some surprises. So it could be that. It could come out this year. But damn,
there's always something that they keep the lid really tightly closed on, and then at E3 it's just like a Pandora's box.
So I just want to put this out there, right? Like some of the things that are kind of in the cards, at least in my head, right? In my head, oh my god, in my head it's actually really bad. Okay, because my head is really bad. Because I'm thinking about games that aren't confirmed yet that I think could be coming out this year. So I'm just gonna say them. Right? Pikmin 3 is an option. Metro Prime Trilogy is an option. Soul Calibur 6 port is an option. Persona 5 is an option. Witcher 3 is an option. Rare Replay is an option. Master Chief Collection is an option. These are all ports, right? Did I say Metro Prime Trilogy already? I did, right? I think I did. Okay. Then there's the Retro Studios game, right? Like you're saying. Then Astral Chain. Then Link's Awakening. Then Animal Crossing. Then Dragon Quest 11S. Then did I say Luigi's Mansion? I don't know if I did. I might not have. Pokemon Sword and Shield. Like. What the? I want to buy all of those games. That's over. I listed over 20 games. Now, not all of them are confirmed, but I mean, like half of them are confirmed, and like the other half of the half are like really, really likely. So that's a lot of money. That's a lot of $60 games.
Too many. Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah.
Anime.
I don't.
Prize.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the... Okay, I just found out what game is the one that comes out at the same time as Fire Emblem. That's Wolfenstein.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like you mean like the DLC for Wolfenstein?
Yeah, Wolfenstein Youngblood?
Yeah, that one.
The DLC is a whole new game.
Yeah.
Oh, it is a whole new game. Okay.
Yeah, it's a smaller scale game. Yeah.
Oh.
It's not necessarily a spin-off, but it's not like...
It's kind of like, I guess you
It's
could say
not
it's
a direct sequel.
It kind of is. It's set in the future.
It kind of is. It's just not a full-blown sequel. It's kind of like it's almost like if they made an expansion of the story.
So
kind of like Torn of the Golden Country, I guess.
Just to give the premise, the main character is an old man in this one, and his daughters are the main characters.
Yeah.
And the daughters are trying to save him. That's the basic premise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And those two released the same day, with Marvel coming out the week prior.
Yeah, that's a lot. I mean, Youngblood is just a third-party game. I don't want to say just, but I mean, it's a third-party game. However, Nintendo, it has a really good relationship with Bethesda. I doubt, because didn't Nintendo publish Doom? Technically, or co-published it with Bethesda? They might have.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm gonna double check.
I don't think they did.
Actually, maybe they didn't. I don't know.
I don't think they did.
I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, regardless if they published it or not, or co-published it, Nintendo and Bethesda have been in communication. Like, this is an agreement with them, right? Like, they have a really good relationship.
Nintendo is also acting as the publisher of Doom on Switch.
Oh, so I was right about that?
Yeah.
Okay. The point simply being is just that, like, they're working together, they're in communication, so, like, they probably wouldn't want to, like, put, like, their biggest game to come out, like, right on the same day. But Marvel Ultimate Alliance and Doom are, you said they're a week apart, Shifty?
Yeah, they're about if not a week, a few days apart.
Okay. Like, it's just kind of one of those things, there's so many games coming out, like, they don't really have, like, much choice. Like, this is just the way it is. There's just a lot of games coming.
Right, and unfortunately, I'm buying all three, so.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for your wallet.
Fire Emblem and Youngbloods. Probably won't buy Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Yeah, I'm not feeling it too much, but we'll see what happens. Alright, so we do have to move on. I guess, what do you want? I still don't know much about, I feel like I know nothing about this Retro Studios game. I do kind of expect to see it this year. If it comes out this year, amazing. We'll see. Not amazing for my wallet, but you know. just quick thoughts, because we do have to move on. We're running out of time. We really are running out of time. Like, I finished like in 30 minutes. Like, we're really running out of time. Like, what do you think of the game could be? Like, just genre at least. Like,
probably action platformer. I don't know.
That
what they like.
That metal hand looks kind of cutesy to me, so I just don't know what to expect.
I'm thinking
3D platformer.
I'm thinking.
I got it. Yeah, it's 3D platformer. That's gonna be their big AAA game for the year.
Like ukulele.
Kinda.
Not.
Kinda. Actually, the text is the same text of Rare, in the painting. Now that just probably means nothing, but it probably means nothing. But it's just saying it's the same kind of text.
I'm thinking platformer 2. I don't know 3D or 2D,
I
but
think 3D.
I see robot and I think, oh, is he gonna be shooting things like Mega Man or?
What if it's just a metal Kong? What if it's just a metal
yeah.
Kong in Donkey Kong Country, tropical desert storm? Like that's the main character is a metal Kong. He has to save Donkey Kong and friends.
Yeah.
It could just be another. It could be a new Donkey Kong character. It's a new Donkey Kong game. Like, people are just throwing that they're not considering that. Like, what if it's the new side character to either Metroid or Donkey Kong?
Yeah, it could be. Oh yeah, I was actually gonna mention that. It could be another Metroid character. Like, what if, you know?
Yeah, my only contention with with Metroid characters, we know Prime 4 is years away, but it could, maybe they still put the art design there. Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's possible. But then I feel like, why would they tease it so soon if the game's not gonna be revealed? Like, that, I feel like that's torture, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and then people would forget about it. It's not even just torture, but
Yeah.
people are gonna forget about that.
Right. Unless this is purely Reggie's doing. Like, internally, maybe they know about the franchise, right? But it's just one of those things they don't talk about, right? And it maybe Reggie's just like, you know what? I don't care. I'm just gonna share this with people in a very sly kind of way. So
what are you gonna do? Fire me?
Exactly. So, but my bet is that it's a new IP or some weird sort of new side character for a 3D platformer, either at Donkey Kong or new IP, and we'll see it at E3. That's what I'm thinking. 3D platformer. And one more thing I want to add to it is that if you think about the games that are published by Nintendo this year, while they're all good, I wouldn't say any of them are like a Zelda or a Mario kind of game, right? Last year we had the Smash. Pokemon is second party, right? It's not developed internally from Nintendo, so there's that. And then Animal Crossing is more of on the casual side, so Nintendo doesn't actually have like a hardcore internally developed game that's, you know, AAA Game of the Year contender-esque coming out this year, right? So maybe they do want to have a game like that this year, and maybe, Shifty, you're right, the Retro Studios game could be it, and it's coming out this year. And it's a 3D platformer, which I think would match that kind of idea. Like, it'd be kind of like a Mario Odyssey kind of game. I'd be over the top for that, but that's just my personal speculation.
I mean, it's possible Nintendo could look at it that way, but I also think that as a business, they probably don't care. I mean, they probably do, but to an extent, they probably care more about the fact that they know Pokemon's going to sell a ton of copies. They know Animal Crossing is going to sell a ton of copies. So they could have that big AAA hardcore.
They don't
game,
need it,
but you know, they can. I could see them just as much being content with.
They can get away without it. I agree with you.
Yeah.
But I also say I think there's still a value to it, right? Because they had Smash last year, right? Which it got way more attention than any of the Game of the Year games, right? And then the year before that, Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey were the two top games, right? So I'm just saying, like, I think from a publicity standpoint, right? Like, there is definitely a reason to want that, but I also agree they don't need it.
Right.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But we do have to move on. So let's let's just jump into the next topic. Guys in the chat, let me see if there's, if you at me, I'll address it real quick, but if not, because we're on a time crunch, just maybe at me with any interesting questions and we'll try to get to it, but we're going to try and finish these last two topics relatively quick.
Yes.
And then get to questions and close things
Lightning
out.
round.
Lightning round. So this one probably short because we're on Untitled Channel, not a Sony channel. But PS5 news. So Sony came out with actual specs for PlayStation 5. I'm gonna just go over these quickly. Brandon, you're my tech guy, so you know I'll be kind of banking on you for the interpretations here. But PS5 specs. CPU. The PS5 CPU will be an AMD chip based on Ryzen 8 cores, 7nm Zen 2, whatever the hell that means. GPU and ray tracing. Also don't know what the hell that means. The PS5 GPU will be a custom AMD Navi GPU that supports ray tracing. Actually, Brandon, you know what ray tracing is, right?
Yeah.
Explain.
Oh, is that all the specs?
Oh no, you want me to finish the specs and then you explain? I'll finish the specs. Audio. The PS5 will have 3D audio that Mark Cerny believes will be dramatically different to PS4 audio. Okay. Storage. The PS5 will have a solid-state drive which uses a new PCIe 4.0 connection. Cerny gave the example of a 0.0. By the way, I'm just reading the bullets from Eurogamer. Cerny gave the
solid-state drive.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Cerny gave the example of a 0.8 second loading time compared to 15 seconds when tested on Marvel's Spider-Man.
Wow.
That's a dramatically huge difference. That's less than 1/15 of the loading time. That's crazy. Resolution support. PS5 will support.
Not very long.
No. PS5 will have up to 8K support with resolution, presumably including full 4K. Okay. There you go. All confirmed PS5 use, including PS5 backwards compatibility. PS5 will feature backwards compatibility and physical versus digital. The PS5 will support backwards compatibility. The PS5 won't be digital only. Some games will likely release on both PS4 and PS5 at first. Basically, how the PS3, PS4 transition happened, I guess. The PS5 will have some form of cloud functionality, okay? And then PS5, PSVR will be in support, and it's a big part of their mindset moving forward. So, Brandon, what do you think?
I think that's gonna be a hell of an expensive machine.
Yeah, that is gonna be. It's gonna be so expensive. Holy cow! Like 8. What did they say? 8 cores.
8 cores.
Yeah, the PS4 has an 8-core CPU too.
It loads Marvel.
But this one's way better. This is definitely gonna be a big.
But didn't they say the? Does the GPU not have 8 cores, or is the GPU just ray tracing?
The GPU does ray tracing.
Right.
It's a feature.
Right.
And it has 8 cores.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I know that ray tracing is like a lighting thing.
The CPU has 8 cores. It doesn't say anything
very
about cores on the GPU.
Graphically intensive, right?
Yeah, this is definitely gonna be. I imagine that they're either gonna lose a bunch of money on this, or it's gonna be expensive. I'm surprised they're going full solid-state drive, because I felt like they were gonna go with a hybrid drive because they're much cheaper and they're still really fast. And I wonder if that's what they're doing. They're just saying it's a solid-state drive, but really it's a hybrid of the two. That's gonna save you on a lot of money, because I mean, if they're wanting a 1 terabyte or 2 terabyte hard drive, those are like $300 for a solid state. There's no way they can put that in a console unless they're getting some kind of magic of a deal. Like they'd have to be getting some kind of hell of a price cut to ever, afford that, unless they're wanting to sell this thing for like $800. So I'm thinking it's probably a hybrid drive, but those are still like 5 times faster than hard drives. I wonder if this will alleviate the issue of. Oh no! I was thinking something else. Sorry. Ray tracing is something I kind of expected. I imagine it's going to be like super basic, because it takes like a lot of resources, and they're using an AMD which doesn't really have ray tracing focused features yet. So it's interesting that they're even doing that at all.
That is interesting. Maybe they figured that they'll add support for it down the line or something. I don't know. Probably. But they might even talk to AMD about it. And then AMD might have revealed their secret plans.
Maybe so. They're also using super like energy efficient stuff, like 7 nanometer chips and stuff. Like that stuff is, to be honest, that's probably like 3 or 4 more times more energy efficient than the stuff in the Switch, like the Nintendo Switch. Like this thing could, like, that's what I'm hoping they'll use for like a next gen Switch. That's how efficient this stuff that they're using is, which is, I find a little odd. That they're, because that's gotta be expensive. I don't know. It's weird. If you
it's not
told
coming
me
out this year. It's like at the earliest 2020, right?
Yeah, if you didn't tell me that this was official, I would say that this was like a fake rumor, because it just doesn't make sense to me. Also 8K, that's some bullshit. Like maybe it does 8K, you know, like maybe some 2D platformers hit 8K or something, but there's no way you're gonna come out and be like, oh yeah, you know, what Uncharted 6 at 8K. There you go. It's like, no.
What about 4K 60? That's just going to be an across the board thing probably.
The good thing is that they seem to be upgrading their CPU a lot, because the problem with the Xbox One and even the X and the PS4 Pros, their CPUs are trash. Like they were trash when they first came out, and they're like ultra super garbage now. They're just horrible. So, and this is a very much more like what you get in a PC sort of CPU. So this is definitely going to help frame rates and stuff, because there's a lot of open world games, even the Xbox One X, that, you know, struggle to hit, you know, like even 30 frames per second. Like they'll dip under 30 FPS, and it's like, that's the fucking $500 system, and you're not even hitting 30 FPS with all these games. It's mostly a round issue. So this is definitely going to be a lot better. You're going to be seeing 4K 60 a lot more. Like some PS4 Pro games are 1080p 30, and you're like, what the hell?
Wow. So, as you've noted, this seems like it's going to be a very expensive system. There's no mention of there being multiple SKUs that I saw, at least. It doesn't mean there won't be, but there doesn't seem to be any signs pointing towards that at this point. Although I imagine PS5 VR might be like a separate purchase, but they may be developing with it in mind at least. So that probably would be a second SKU. But like, if you look at what we're hearing about with Xbox One, apparently I think I heard the Xbox One's get, like, not Xbox One, Xbox, I don't know, whatever, 1000, whatever Xbox
One
Xbox Next, Xbox Next, right? The one meant to compete with PS5, like supposedly, like it's even stronger. I think I saw that somewhere.
Yeah, I heard about that too.
So they're both probably gonna be really expensive, right? Which kind of leaves Nintendo in the more $200 to $300 casual range. Right? I mean, granted, the way, as they said in the article, right, like it's probably going to play, PS5 is probably going to play, it's going to be cross-compatible with PS4 games. Like, games that have been coming out for PS5 will also be coming out for PS4 probably for the first year or two. Basically the same way the PS3 transitioned to PS4. The AAA games that Sony was releasing were coming out for both systems. So their PS4 probably will be like their cheaper SKU. That still will be relevant for a few more years. So it's not like 2020 is going to come around and the system, PS4 is just going to be dead. PS4 probably will be relevant in at least until 2021, from what I'm thinking, right? Maybe even as far as 2022. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, it has a lot of exclusives, but the PS5 might be backwards compatible though.
Yeah, that's what this is saying. It's going to be backwards compatible with PS4.
Yeah.
I think the original PS4 is going to be, you know, that $300 price point. You're going to have the PS4 Pro.
PS4 Pro. Okay, yeah.
So you have the PS4 Pro still at $400, and then the PS5 at $500.
Can't you get a PS4 at $200?
When it's on sale, but typically it's $300. Yeah, still.
Okay, by the time PS5 comes out, maybe it does go down.
Maybe. But I could see them selling PS4s, you know, MSRP 300, PS4 Pro 400, and PS5 500.
Okay.
Now, they'll probably have a bunch of sales, and it's probably never going to actually be 300 for a PS4, but that would be the MSRP.
I'm going to pull off a speed play here, and I'm going to transition this topic into the next topic, because I feel like they relate to each other. Right, so obviously the Sony machine is going to be pretty powerful. Right, the PS4 is already more powerful than the Switch. PS4 Pro is a lot more powerful than the Switch, and the PS5 is gonna eat the Switch alive several times. But like, we know Nintendo's working on a few new revisions, supposedly, I mean, it's all but confirmed, right? We have several reports coming from different, like, respected, reputable publications from around the world, right? But recently we got one from Nikkei, right? And let me go to the article.
Oh yeah.
So, the rumored Switch Pro is possibly delayed according to a new report. Switch Lite reportedly dockable. But there is a little correction, so I'll read the correction here. Beyond the smaller budget-focused model lies the development of the overhauled next-generation model intended to replace the one currently available. Nintendo is believed to be experimenting on a number of different things for the device, including usability, improved image rendering, and changes to the operating system, among other things. One development source contends, however, that it still remains unclear at this stage who at the company will end up taking the lead on the conceptual development for the new console. Now, this is a translation. Initially, there was an error with the translation. In fact, let me read the correction right here. So I'll just read it for them so everyone's on the same page. Our original translation of the article appears to have erred in suggesting that the updated variant of the Switch or next generation version was being postponed due to technical problems. Though Nikkei is indeed reporting that the lighter version of the Switch will be dockable with a television, here's a fuller translation from a relevant section of the Nikkei article. Thanks, Tom James, we regret the error. So apparently there isn't actually a delay, right? That was an error. But they are saying that there is a new generation system in the works. Now, when they say new generation, do they actually mean like Switch 2.0, right? Like, or is it just a upgraded Switch that plays the same games? Do you want me to read that part one more time? Where they talk about the upgrades they're looking at. Maybe we can interpret it a little bit better.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll read it a little slower too. Beyond the smaller budget-focused model, which would be the Switch Mini Lite, right?
Yes. Yes.
That one's still coming this year. Apparently, that one's dockable, which is great. We'll talk about that. But
that's interesting.
Lies the development of the overhauled next generation model intended to replace the one currently available. Intended to replace. That's interesting. Nintendo is believed to be experimenting on a number of different things for the device, including usability, improved image rendering, and changes to the operating system, among other things. One development source contends, however, that it still remains unclear at this stage who at the company will end up taking the lead on a conceptual development for the new console. I'm not sure what this means.
This, to me, sounds like a whole next generation version, because I feel like a Switch Pro wouldn't be intended to replace a Switch. Like the new Switch.
I
don't know about that. I feel like this is sounding to me more like, I mean, it could be a whole new next generation system, but it also sounds like what the new 3DS was, because if you remember, the new 3DS over time did end up replacing regular 3DSs.
True.
Yeah, it may just be that they want to phase out that version of the Switch, because the original 3DSs, they don't sell anymore, right?
Right. And it could have a lot to do with some of the faults that the console had when it first launched, like some of the warping issues and the dock scratching the screen. Maybe this will be their way of trying to rectify, fix all those issues while also upgrading the hardware at the same time.
I think when you think about the timing of things, I think it's way, way, way too early for us to be getting this much details about a true next generation system from Nintendo. Right? Like, I think it's just way too early, right?
Yes.
But the verbiage does sound, they say next generation model, but next generation model could be, for example, jumping from the X1 to X2 technically, right? Isn't that technically like a next generation, chip-wise?
Yeah.
So,
X2, right?
So, but that's not next generation, that's not a next generation jump in terms of games, home console game systems, though. Right, that's just a moderate upgrade.
If you listen to the other one about the PS5, it's like, 8 cores and like, whatever.
Yeah. So I'm gonna side with you, Shifty, but mainly more because I just don't think the timing would lead to us getting information about an actual next generation system from Nintendo, but rather more like an upgrade, like you said, how it'll phase out the older version of the Switch and replace it in the industry, but it'll still be this part of the same ecosystem, the same line of systems.
Right. I like the thing that gave me the impression that it is a new 3DS type scenario is the fact that it said it's meant to replace the old model, which tells me that they're trying to do the same thing again, where they redesign the entire thing, improve hardware, and then just kind of phase out the old Switch and just kind of have this new one with the same price point and just kind of replace it essentially.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
let's go over some of the features, see if we can kind of interpret a little bit, right? So, but first, let's talk about the Switch Mini. Let me see if I can get to. Let me see. Well, basically, Switch Mini, it's gonna be dockable. I remember Eurogamer, their speculation was that it won't be dockable, and I think what's interesting about that in this report is that people confuse that to mean that it will not be dockable. It was just speculation that it won't be dockable. That was not confirmed. That was not that was not what the report actually said. From what I remember. But this is here saying that the Switch Mini will be dockable. So I'm going to go back to my theory about it being a clamshell design and fitting inside the dock. It's still not. I don't know.
Not the original. I don't think it's gonna work with the original dock necessarily. I don't think it. It doesn't have to. I think they could have a different dock that works for it. That's different design, so that it fits better.
I think they all. My personal thinking is that I think it should work with the original dock. Maybe you might need a cord though, or some sort of adapter. But I think there will be a way that you will be to use the Switch Mini to work with the original dock. I think they need to be compatible because they're part of the same ecosystem. Maybe I'm wrong, but like I said, maybe they just need like a cord adapter or something to make it work, but I think it will be able to work in some way.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how close they stick to the original design.
Yeah. That image that was, supposedly leaked, that turquoise one, I think that's really interesting. I mean, I know that it's fake, but because my one of my coworkers, she's like, I asked her what she thought of it, and she was like, oh yeah, I could make that in Photoshop easily. So it's like, it's easy to fake those things. You just pretend.
Yeah. I'm still. It's gonna be weird if the Switch Mini comes out and it just looks like a Switch, but the Joy-Cons don't come off. Especially because the initial report said that it wouldn't look or be quite what we expected. So I am expecting something a little bit different. We would see what would happen. I'm actually seeing that Sabbath would hate it if it was a clamshell design. Well, that, my friend, is where we're gonna have to disagree.
I don't think it really needs to be clamshell.
Oh, really?
I really like the idea of it. If there's not two screens, I don't really like the idea of a clamshell design.
Now, I don't think that the clamshell design is bad, but I don't like when, you know how when you have so much wear on it, after a while, it'll start to get to where.
Oh yeah.
When
you can
have it
gets flimsy.
Yeah, it gets flappy. It gets flappy.
That's a good point. That's the only
thing I don't like about the clamshell design.
Yeah.
I'm wondering.
I think it's okay. Actually, no, scratch that. I don't know if I like the clamshell design that much because it's harder for me for my eyes because they don't move up and down. So it's harder to see those top and bottom screens.
But this would only have one screen, right? So if it was a clamshell design, it would only have one screen. It would be more like the Game Boy Advance SP, where all the buttons are on the bottom side, the screen's on the top side, and that allows you to have a bigger screen, and it actually protects the screen. Yeah, I think you bring up a great point with the hinge though, because the hinge was always an issue with every single the SP, the DS line, the 3DS line. Like the hinge was always an issue. So you got me there. So we'll see what happens. Again, that's just my personal speculation desire. It's not like I think for sure that's happening. So we'll see. But let's move into go back to some of the features of the Switch Pro, because again I want to close out this discussion. I realize I'm rushing through things. It feels so unnatural. But let's just continue on. Beyond the smaller budget mode lies the development of the overhauled next generation model intended to replace the one currently available. Nintendo is believed to be experimenting on a number of different things for the device, including usability. Okay, usability. What would they mean by improving the usability? I guess one way would be not have the Joy-Cons breaking all the time or eliminate drifting issues, things like that, right?
They need to redesign the Joy-Cons to be fundamentally built better.
Right, so they're not flimsy.
So cheaply, it feels like.
Yeah. So more sturdy, more longer lasting. Do you think there's anything else surrounding the adjective usability that, they
what comes to my mind is different uses. Like increase the usability of the console with different uses that we don't currently have.
Such as, because
Do you mean like Netflix or something on there?
Maybe, or turn it into like a ebook kind of thing, or
Yeah, that kind of thing.
yeah, like just different ways of using the console that we don't like. I guess Labo would be kind of like that first step in using the console in a different way we didn't think of before.
Right. Well, I mean, I would say current usability is pretty well beyond most other systems, right? Because you got portable mode, you have docked mode, you have tabletop mode, right? I could see them fixing up tabletop a little bit more. Maybe the screen works better under sunlight, so it gets more visible, so more people can see it.
The original report from Eurogamer was talking about, or it was the Wall Street Journal. I think it was the Wall Street Journal. The original rumors about a Switch Mini and Switch Pro. Those were saying that it could have a brighter screen, so that does fit with that report.
And I do think the screen could be a little bigger, right?
Also a better, fit in that. Get rid of that stupid.
Reduce the bezel. Yeah, in the obvious one. Yeah.
The kickstand's the worst thing ever. It just breaks off so easily, and it's so cheap feeling, and it doesn't really hold up the Switch very well either. So.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, they probably realized that the usability that the Switch has now is what made the Switch so successful. So they probably want to keep going in that direction.
Right. I don't think they're going to abandon any of the features. I think they're just going to improve upon them and add more, like you said, shifty. Using it more like a notebook would be interesting. And I think the visibility of the screen has a big part to do with that. Do you think they might change the surface area of the screen? Right, like maybe they might make it glass instead of plastic.
Maybe they can make the bezel smaller.
Right.
Bezel, I think, would be pretty much gone.
I think that's almost a given. I'm just thinking about like the tactile feedback of the screen. Like,
well, there were early. There were what are those called? Like plans for a like trademark plans for a touchscreen. A what?
With
a patent. So there was a patent for like the new iPhones, and I guess maybe
they have haptic feedback, right?
Feedback, so it like vibrates and it feels like it's pressing back up against you. Like they had patents for that for the Switch, but they never actually used it.
My only problem with that is I feel like this Switch is still going to play the same games, so I just wonder if that's even needed. I mean, maybe if they just want to make it nice to navigate the menus, I guess.
I mean, it could be sort of like enhancement to the HD Rumble. It's kind of like, because there's some games you can actually use like touch controls, so if it like actually like vibrated, it's like a sort of like HD Rumble for the screen.
Maybe it just improves handheld mode, right? Like where you like when I'm playing Mario Maker 2 or when I'm using Sage Builder, like it just makes those things more satisfying. Yeah, I guess that's an option. The only problem with it is that this is obviously it's going to come after these games that they're using the touchscreen so much. So I wonder if all these games would just get an update for that.
I would assume
right.
So, because we're getting VR updates for Odyssey and Breath of the Wild, so it wouldn't be too surprising.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
I mean, it wouldn't be that hard.
So let's move beyond usability. Improved image rendering. Okay, I don't know what that means. I think it could just mean that the screen will work better, right? It'll be a better screen, presented a little bit better, maybe better colors, maybe.
Improved image rendering is that's more. I think it's typically talking about like graphics and stuff, like resolution. I assume is mostly what it's talking about.
So what if it has the dock it comes with or whatever it is a built-in like 4K upscaler?
I mean, it's possible.
It would be interesting.
Hashtag believe.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be cool, man.
The model for the new Switch.
If you think
Can
about
we
the
get a hashtag believe in the chat?
yeah, I think was it the Wall Street Journal report that said that the Switch Pro or whatever it is meant to be more catered to hardcore gamers and give us features that we really like. I'm just saying a 4K upscaler is literally what we want, right? Like that's what we want.
I mean,
So
I don't really
better graphics, obviously.
I'd rather see 1080p and a high frame rate, like 90, 120 FPS, than I would like a 4K upscale. I was about to say 4K.
True, but when you get to higher frame rates, typically you start getting CPU bound, and I mean, hitting that kind of stuff, honestly, it's like way harder to hit 90 or 120 frames per second than it is hit 4K and upscale 4K. It's
that's a good point.
So I just think it'd be probably too expensive a device to get it to those high frame rates, because you have to improve a lot more than just in the graphics card better. But I do think a Switch Pro would definitely have a different dock than the original, because the original's HDMI literally can't put out 4K. The HDMI port on the Switch's dock is not capable of it.
Really? And the thing is, we know that within the current Switch, it is technically capable of like 4K streaming.
Yeah, it should be 4K for like YouTube and Netflix and stuff, but it isn't, because the HDMI
There's
doesn't
no way it
output
can, right? Yeah, that's an interesting bottleneck. That was probably just something a part of the original plans that was still left within that as an artifact within the current Switch, right? But I guess if the new dock you plug in the current Switch, it'll still be able to do that. Okay, yeah, I think that's something to consider. It says also changes to the operating system, among other things. That's very open-ended. But I like the things we come up with, right? Like maybe haptic feedback, better screen, better brightness so it can be used better in the sunlight. I guess a better kickstand, right? Obviously, battery life comes to mind as well. Joy-Cons that do not break down. Maybe 4K upscaling, right? Obviously, I guess it'd be a better performing Switch, right? So most games would run a little bit better.
Yeah. Changing the operating system, I'm curious. Something I've been really hoping is more seamless in newer consoles is being able to have like multiple apps open at once,
right?
Which you can do for certain things, but most things you can't. Like on my phone, I could open up as many apps and games as I want, and it'll run in the background. They do that very well yet.
What I want is for them to distinguish between game apps and like media apps, right? So
and like YouTube or whatever,
right?
Yeah.
And especially maybe that's one of the reasons why they haven't added Netflix and things like that, because they realize that having multiple apps open is kind of a thing you want to do. Like my PS4, I have like 3 apps open all the time. Like Crunchyroll, Netflix, and a game are open like all the time, right? Maybe that's one of the things they want to work with the operating system, and the Switch Pro will have that, right? Like maybe YouTube and Netflix will be considered media apps, so maybe you could have one media app open and one game app open at all times, right? And they just suspend one or the other depending on which one you're using. I would appreciate that. That's one thing I could see them maybe doing, and maybe this Switch Pro comes with Netflix in the box. Woo! Big selling point, right? But just saying, like, the Switch doesn't have Netflix or Crunchyroll. That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. The Wii U had it.
It's gonna get Disney's new streaming service before Netflix even gets there.
Jesus.
Right?
Let's not forget, we still don't have an internet browser.
And
it's not like Switch can't do it, because at first people were like kind of hacking to Switch and using. There is a built-in internet browser on the system. It's just not used. So it's not like the technology isn't there or anything like that. They're not doing it for, I guess, mainly because they don't want to put constraints on the operating system. So the new Switch, I imagine, will have, I guess, more RAM dedicated for the operating system, and it'll allow things for having at least a couple applications suspended. Maybe it'll have background music if you want, like, things like that. Although I appreciate the quietness of the operating system, and maybe you could have an option for themes that may include music. So
I think another reason the operating system's so bare bones is because there's only 32 gigabytes of onboard storage, and all the operating system has to be on the onboard storage. Like the Xbox One, PS4, their operating system's like 30 gigs. Like just the operating system takes like over 30 gigabytes of data. So I think a lot of it's just save space so that people don't get their Switch and be like, oh yay, I immediately have to buy a micro SD card to literally download anything because it's just all operating system.
yeah. So
You're not wrong, though.
I gotta end the discussion, guys. So, final thoughts on anything we talked about, and then we're gonna get to the chat and we're gonna call it a night. Anything you can be on this current topic or anything you want to go back to. Final thoughts. I guess you can each have your own closing thought if you have any in mind. Mine is I'm really feeling that Retro Studios tease. I love the idea that it'll be revealed at E3. I love the idea more they could come out this year. I'm not gonna bank on that one, but you know, if it happens, it happens. Fingers crossed. And I'm rolling with the premise that it's a new platforming game, except instead of it being a 2D platformer, is a 3D platformer, likely a new IP. Either that, or it's apparently a new Metal Kong for Donkey Kong. Either way, it's a 3D platformer, though. That I'm rolling with. Yeah.
Clanky.
Oh, Clanky Kong, maybe. Makes sense. Actually, wait, I gotta see something here. I gotta see something. All right, where is the? Oh, there we are. There's the image. All right, how many fingers does Donkey Kong have? He has 4 fingers and a thumb. How many fingers does Dixie Kong have in this picture?
The robot has 3 fingers and a thumb.
Yeah, theory deconfirmed. Although,
Ah.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. It probably is not a Clanky Kong. Or they just didn't have enough budget to add another finger. Yeah.
They changed they took all their resources to put it into Metroid.
Yeah. Do you remember that one joke how for Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze they said they put a lot of work into the fur for Donkey Kong. They made it seem like it was this big extraordinary effort to make the fur advanced. I was like, really? Really? The fur?
I mean, they're not wrong, especially for something of a Wii U caliber system.
People were
like the
pissed
fur
off.
really impressive.
Yes.
It kind of reminds me of when they put all that emphasis on the was it the jacket in Infamous Second Son? It would try to like play it off as like, oh, this is the most advanced jacket ever or something, and it's just...
I remember I don't know which Call of Duty was it, but they're like, oh my god, these are the smartest fishes we ever put in a game. And the AI for the fishes didn't quite seem to match up to the AI for the fishes in Mario 64. Like, there were memes of them side by side, and the fishes in Mario 64 seemed to kind of be better in terms of their movement. Yeah, so that's kind of my final thought, though. I'm thinking Retro Studios is working on a 3D platformer.
I guess my final thoughts is just I'm hyped to continue playing Mortal Kombat. And I don't know, I've been trying to get into more competitive games other than Smash Brothers, so I'm not just like, oh, I only play Smash and that's all I know.
Oh man, maybe we could have some Pokemon Academy. Because I used to compete with Pokemon. So
we could definitely try that.
Yeah.
I'm planning on trying to get a video for MK out by tomorrow, hopefully.
Okay. So, by the way, guys, the links to everyone's channel is in the description below, by the way. So, check out Shifty from I Am Shifty. Check out Kazoo from the El Kazoo. Check out Brennan from What About Nintendo. They're all there. Also, leave a like, please. Please, Bridgie, please spare me some likes. I'm just kidding.
Leave a like. Like the stream, guys. Like the stream.
Likes are free after all. Can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Free for me.
Likes and subs. Guys, sub to me, sub to everyone here.
Yes.
Sub to everyone, and yeah.
And then go to Subway and get a sub.
Ooh. $5 foot long. So let me check run by the chat. So Mastermind saying he thinks it's gonna be similar to the PSP in his opinion. He's talking in reference to the Switch Mini. I can see that. I can see it being very similar to a PSP. I feel like the current Switch is very similar to a PSP, so I can see that definitely happening. Sabbath saying he's rarely uses his Joy-Cons. He mostly uses a Pro Controller. I'm actually with you, Sabbath. My Joy-Cons barely come off my Switch. Actually, my Joy-Cons are kind of completely falling apart. The lag is really bad. Honestly, I need to replace them. It's terrible. So, you know, I don't like it. Like, it's reducing my playtime because I don't even use my Switch that much in portable mode because of how bad the Joy-Cons are. I'll say this though,
really?
when I play Tetris with a normal controller, I feel really good because I play Tetris most usually in portable mode, and somehow I still compete with those drifting issues. I don't know how I do it, but I find a way.
I beat the entirety of Mario Odyssey with terrible drifting issues.
You are a prodigy.
Yes.
Except now, whenever you play, you always veer to the right. No matter what, you've been trained wrong. Yeah, exactly, Mastermind. Nintendo needs to add streaming apps so we can watch anime on the fly.
Yes.
Oh, Nintendo and the Animus!
Cannibal Games is saying that Sony needs to do something new or innovative to grab my attention. An obsolete PC won't cut it anymore. I think they're really trying to separate themselves with their PSVR.
Yeah, their VR is probably the most mainstream VR. But I mean, it's literally like the best-selling VR ever at this point.
Which isn't that much, but
No, it's not selling that well. I think they said they have like 5 million sold or 10 million. I don't remember. It's not that much, but it's like really basically the most popular way to play VR at the moment.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But you know,
Becoming quickly overshadowed though by the Nintendo Labo VR. I'm gonna
I need to
say
pick
it.
that up so badly. I'm waiting. I'm about to pick that up, man. I really want it, and that means Zelda VR is coming out really soon. I'm looking forward to it. I did see a report that it was suggested that when you play Zelda VR, their recommendations to kind of not use it the entire time, just to use it more like in certain vistas in Breath of the Wild. Like they kind of want you to use it to rediscover the world of Breath of the Wild. Yeah. So it's interesting, but at the same time, VR usually isn't intended for long play. So I'm really curious how it's going to work and play. So I probably will have to pick up the Labo VR this week as soon as that update goes live. So we'll see what happens with that. But this is pretty much the end of the discussion, the podcast. So thank you so much for listening and watching, everyone. Again, check out everyone's channel. I am Shifty, the Yellow Kazoo. What About Nintendo? The links to their channels are in the description below. And I think we're pretty much it. Apparently we're getting a raid. Like we're literally is about to aim. I'm literally about to end the discussion, guys. I have to go to the gym. What are you guys doing?
Oh, hey, Donnie. Hey, Chelsea Insane Day. Hey, AOA. Hey, guys.
Game pack raid.
Hey, everyone. Hi, everyone. Welcome.
Yeah, several people here for the game pack raid. Chelsea Insane Day.
Oh, it's
John
Camilla.
Evo.
What's up, Camilla?
AOA, Christina Gerald, Medina, Cool Trainer Camilo, The Game Pack. I'm Phil Fantastic.
Oh, wait, are you really Phil Fantastic? Because I was going to say that all of these people are, like, from his channel. So is it really?
Maybe so.
I can't tell. Can't tell. Let me know, guys.
Everyone's saying yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, it's a collab channel. Oh,
there you go.
That's awesome.
Phil Fantastic. I just subscribed. I'm gonna check you out, bro. But yeah, guys, we're pretty much at the end of the discussion. I guess, because we got a raid, I'll just do a quick summary. Right, we talked about the Smash 3.0 update. We talked about Joker. We think it's awesome. Like, I guess you know, there's some like DLC speculation that we're getting based off the recent update from Smash Brothers, right? With the whole Mii costumes being added, people are thinking that all the old Mii costumes are going to be added with each like challenger pack. So we just got the Sega ones, so maybe we're going to get a DLC pack from Namco, Capcom, and Square, which I can kind of see that happening, right? So that might be the case. Oh, we're getting a lot of subscriptions. Welcome, guys.
Hey.
So
Yay!
there's that. We talked about Retro Studios teasing their game, right? Because Reggie retired, right? He retired and he put up an image that was from Retro Studios. It was a painting. It had the Retro Studios like developers putting their signatures all around, and there was a Mario statue conveniently placed on the left side, right, hiding a weird metal hand. And then an official Retro Studios artist went and retweeted it, Enrique Rivera with a winky face. The common consensus is that Retro Studios is teasing a new game finally, and I think everyone here agreed that we're probably going to see it by E3, right? We agree with that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
My hope is that it's a 3D platformer. New IP 3D platformer. Or this is the introduction of Clanky Kong, the new metal Donkey Kong, but it's still going to be a 3D Donkey Kong. Yeah.
That would be hilarious.
It would be a massive troll, but I would love it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I would love it.
I'm definitely banking on platformer. I just don't know if it's 3D or 2D.
Oh my
Right,
gosh,
yeah.
a new Donkey Kong game, and it's like the whole premise is like the like robot overlords come in and they're like wreaking havoc, and you have to like defeat
Instead of Vikings, it's robots.
Clanky Kong.
No, I think Clanky Kong's your team because he's in the paint. But he's the one good robot. He's the one good robot monkey.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
What if that's the plot twist?
Yeah. I like that.
But then Clanky Kong betrays you at the end and he kills Donkey Kong.
Yes.
And then it becomes Diddy Kong's adventure.
Straight fucking murders him.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is, guys. Thank you for all the subscriptions, guys. But yeah, like I said, this is pretty much the end of the podcast, though. So have to stay tuned. But again, check out everyone else. The links to their channels are in the description below. I guess one more thing, we talked about PS5 news. Apparently, Brandon, he's you know the most with the tech here, and you're saying it's really powerful and probably really expensive. So I believe you. Which kind of opens more of the door for Nintendo to stay in like more of the casual realm in the future. And the Switch Pro looks like it might have some nice features based off the reports, but we'll see what happens. And Switch Mini might be docked, which is pretty cool to hear. So, but yeah, that's it, guys. I guess I'll check out the chat real quick before we call it a good night. Let me see what's going on here. It's a new collab channel. Okay. Right. Well, again, guys, check out Phil Fantastic. And anyway, thank you so much, everyone. Have a great night. We'll see you all really soon.
Thanks for the raid.
Yeah, raids are cool. All right. Take care, guys.
Raids
Bye.
are awesome. Thank you guys so much. Bye.
See ya.
Bye, guys.
Bye.